because I didn't really. I know last time I didn't really spend any because I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what. Uh,
What to
or I
buy?
guess I bought intelligence. Yeah, I didn't know what to buy,
Yeah.
but I think I'm pretty much except for my my profile. I'm pretty much maxed out on um, skills,
Mm-hmm.
except for prepare poison.
Well.
Um, yeah, and the other thing I was going to ask you about, just to start,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm getting into that realm where I need to start thinking about career exits,
Sure. Sure.
and um, so I think previously I was just like, oh, I'm just going to pick whatever career exit I want, and work it in a thing. But I was wondering, because you know I feel like I should role play it a little bit more, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
or like try to work it into what we're doing. And so, what I initially thought about was apprentice wizard, but I don't know if we're gonna be staying in Altdorf. I figured there's a way I could work my way into that. But then the other ones I was thinking was either merchant or scholar, and I think merchant, although I have no idea, I've never looked at the merchant career. I think that would fit with my character just in the sense that he's always trying to make deals and trying to sell his powders and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well.
and then scholar, it could be similar, just trying to research more remedies.
Well, with Apprentice Wizard, there's this problem that if you would want to go legal, you would have
Hmm.
to join the colleges, and
Right.
that that would mean that your character would be out of the game, or rather, that we would have to probably have a few years of downtime, as you are essentially just
Yeah.
learning
Yeah.
things. Uh,
Okay.
if
Well,
you would
then,
want to
then,
go illegal, that's also very interesting, of course. But you know what happens to
yeah.
wizards who don't have the license in the empire? They just go poof.
Yep. Okay. No, that's cool. That's what I was thinking. Is just I'm trying to think of how it makes sense rather than just, hey, I'm a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry.
Well, I
you
mean,
know.
the merchant is a very cool career, and I don't think we ever had a merchant in our party, in any of our parties. I think.
Mhm. Well,
Uh,
I was just saying because it fits with my star sign. I think the Piper,
the Piper. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. So,
and I do have gossip and haggle already. So
let me quickly see
it's
the
just it's
Piper.
just I'm just not very good at it. Me personally, I'm not very good at that shit. I think Brian's much better at making deals and.
Yeah, the Piper, diplomatic, cunning, shady. Well, yes, certainly have good qualities for a merchant. Yeah, I think merchant is nice. The scholar is also very cool
Uh,
because
I
you
think it
have.
works with the party dynamic too, because um, I'm trying not to do that with this character. You know what I mean? Like I know
yeah,
Sally was kind of like that, but
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to be more frivolous with money, and
right.
And
but we
that.
do need a plan. Is the thing was like that we do need like like a character that like, hey, let's start a business. Let's do this. Let's you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Well, I mean, that's just it. Is as I'm sort of following your lead in that you want to. We've sort of hit upon the doctor and pharmacist team, trying to hawk our wares in that way, and I think that's what I was thinking is that we if we're going somewhere, we're taking it on the road. I'm selling snake oil, or whatever it is. It's like
It,
this will cure everything. Just rub it on your skin for a rash. Drink it for incontinence. Uh,
smoke this shit.
yeah.
What? Come again, Sir Bran?
I said, smoke this shit.
Yes.
Hmm.
Blaze it for 20. Yeah. Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, so, okay, Sean, I would suggest for you a merchant career, but of course, it's up
yeah.
to you.
Right.
For selling
Well.
your remedies, definitely this could work well, especially in Aldorf, city
Mhm.
of opportunities, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Um.
but
And and
yes. Mm-hmm.
and Gustav can continue his thing is a pimp.
Yeah, that's
Totally
That's
not my
his
angle.
Yes.
meet a few other girls with daddy issues and you're set.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's start with experience points. Gustav, what are you buying?
Did you say for this campaign, a cart or a boat would eventually be more useful to us?
It depends if where you want to go after that. In Aldorf,
Yeah.
you could probably a boat would probably be more optimal because you can quickly travel from one bank of the river to the other. You can go down towards Karlberg or towards Kemperbad, to the east. Cart is useful, but only if you want to travel. I think a lot. If you want to travel a lot between various cities in the empire, because cart
Yeah.
in a city, it's not really useful. What are you going to do with a
Yeah.
cart in the
Yeah.
city if you don't have a shop, if you don't have a business, which forces you to transport large quantities of goods? I would
Yeah.
go
And
with
then
a
save
boat.
and eat your mule, or
Yeah,
or like
Yeah, yeah.
fanatics or
Well,
whatever it was.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean that's always our. Well, I think it's every adventuring party's thing is like, yeah, we have this thing that we totally don't know what to do with it, and we forget about it.
like Lorenzo the Mule.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I used to listen to a lot of playthroughs, and it was like, oh yeah, I have this thing, and I've set up this backstory for this, like one guy's like, oh, I have this dog, and then
and
completely forgot about the dog for the rest of the adventure arc.
well, in my first ever RPG group, one of the players bought a cat because, and I quote, "cat was cheap," and he forgot about it. He had it in his backpack for about a month.
That actually happened to me as a kid, not with a cat though.
Okay.
When I was a little kid, I caught a frog. Like a little tiny frog. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I'll put it in my boot and save it here. And then I, of course,
Jesus.
completely forgot about it. And so then, wearing my boots and take my boot off, and I'm like, what's that? It fell out of my boot. I'm like, oh, it's a dried up dead frog.
That's fucking cruel. But I mean, it happens.
Well, I mean, I wasn't intending to kill the
No,
frog.
no,
I
I
just
know,
totally
of
forgot it was in
course.
my shoe. And
Anyway, yeah, Brian, I would suggest a boat. A boat is very useful, especially since in the Empire you can go practically everywhere by boat. It is a nation, connected by various rivers and streams, stuff like that. You can even go by boat to Marienburg. So,
Is it? Do I need drive for a boat, or is it a different skill?
I think ironically that is drive, just specifically drive for using boats. So, for example, if you buy drive and you are using boats, then you don't really have drive, to control coaches, for example, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I want to do drive boats then.
Although, if I recall correctly, there is a. Let me quickly check.
is
on
there
that.
a sail?
Yeah, I think there is a sail.
Or
a
pilot,
skill.
right? It's pilot, I think, or something.
Yeah, it might be. It sounds like you should have pilot, even though. Well, I mean, obviously, a river boat is different from a ocean-going sailboat.
Yeah,
But-
of course, of course.
But
I think just the basic concept of moving a skiff on water or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Oh yeah, I have it here. Wait. Common knowledge. Yeah, there is a sail skill. There is a sail
okay.
skill essentially. Because I'm looking at the sea captain right now. Of course, it's an advanced skill, but it has sail. But tell you what, if you have the drive option in your character, advanced.
I'm from Marienburg.
Yeah, you can switch it with no cost for sail if you want.
Okay, I want to do that.
Okay.
And
Sure.
I also want to take. I've been learning from Sean apothecary trade.
Okay. Yeah, because right now, like a few more days passed, maybe even a week. Let's make it easier. So you guys had a few, you had some time to do various things. So if you want to learn apothecary from Johannes, assuming that Johannes, of course, teaches you the apothecary skill, but I assume so.
I've been looking in on him when he concocts stuff. And I think like 3 sessions.
Okay, okay.
I've
He's
No,
mentioned it a couple
spying on
times.
me. It's like I'm
Yeah.
I'm noticing a pattern here where he doesn't want to pay for instruction. He's just like, oh,
Well, no, like I think I've asked you stuff like,
yeah, no.
but not too
I
deep
would
in the role play. But
yeah. I would share it with him because
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
pals.
yeah.
Even though
You're...
he's doing it to cut me out of the business.
Oh no, wait! I know where this is heading. This is the Breaking Bad arc of our campaign.
Yes.
So who's
I don't
going
need
Sure.
you
to
anymore.
name himself Heisenberg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you can buy the apothecary skill, Gustav, if you want, no problem. I think it's tested on intelligence, if I recall correctly.
and fail is intelligence, I'm guessing too.
What? Yeah, if you want to buy more intelligence, I think that's very useful. I don't recall what are you exactly using when testing drive or sail. I believe it's dexterity, because this is more of a manual skill. But for apothecary stuff, definitely intelligence. So yeah. And Johannes,
Alright,
if
so
you
that's
want to, sorry, just one more thing, Johannes. If you want to go the merchant way, you will need fellowship. You know.
Yeah. I have pretty good fellowship already. I have.
Okay.
I have a 39, and I was gonna take +5 today,
Oh, nice.
among other things. So,
Okay.
yeah, my fellowship is pretty good.
Gustav, back to you.
yeah, that's all the XP I'm going to spend. That pretty much does all my skills and talents for this career, so I have nothing but numerical stats.
Okay, so after buying numerical stats, remember that you also pay 100 gold, gold, 100 XP to progress, and then you can start new career. Also remember that when you have the options or you only choose one, and then later on your next career you can buy the previous skills or traits for 100 XP.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's how this works. So for example, if you have drive or sail, you can only choose one, but then when you go to the second career, you can choose the other one. It's a bit strange. I don't really get this rule, but whatever. We'll go with it. Okay, Gustav. So you're set. Johannes, what about you?
Okay, so I have 400 unspent right now. So
That's
I
a
was
lot.
thinking, yeah, that's what I said. I was like, holy shit. Okay, so I will get 5% agility, 5% fellowship, and then
Agility, very nice. How much agility will you have now?
so now I have 41 agility.
That's a good number. Yeah.
And then with fellowship I have
44.
44, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think what I want to do, I already bought +5 intelligence last time. I think I'm just going to buy the whole +10 with the last 200 for willpower.
Oh yeah,
And so
that's a good choice.
Go up to 53 willpower.
53.
And-
Jesus, wow.
Yeah.
So,
And then I am done.
yeah.
And I have 5 unspent experience points.
Junior witch hunter in the making. Nice.
Yeah. Yes, one day I decided to be a witch hunter. I'm a witch hunter now.
Oh, remember, you can always be the unaffiliated one. The contractor one. PMC. Oh. Okay, who's making
PMC? God. Yeah, it was like I was looking at that and I was like, PMC. I'm like, oh yeah.
private military witch hunters? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so
BMW.
yeah, BMW. Who's making notes today? Because I don't remember who was making them last. I think.
It was going to be Michael, but I guess I'll I'll do it.
It's up to you, Brian. But thank you if you decide
Well
to.
played. Well played.
Yes, well played.
If you decide to take it, hey, remember it's you who's going to to be granted bonuses for that.
Yeah.
Okay. So a week passed since your last adventure, we could say.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you want to pick a date on the imperial calendar?
No, not yet, unless it's very important for you.
Okay, okay.
But I specifically don't want to use the precise dates here, because it makes my job a bit easier. Just
Yeah,
say,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. If I recall correctly, the calendar is mainly used only in a single campaign. It's the enemy within. Because there is very important, like the dates are very important there. Other than that, I don't recall any Warhammer Fantasy roleplay scenario or campaign in which the calendar is actually used. In Thousand Thrones, it's a bit used, but only a bit. Anyway, remember, it's still the summer of 2522, if I recall correctly. Yeah, 2522. The Empire has won against the hordes from the north and the various, enemies from within its borders, like the marauding beastmen, the vicious greenskins, and of course the ever-present threat of the undead from the east. But all is not well in the realm of Sigmar, as the northern and eastern provinces have been devastated. Nordland, Ostland, Ostermark, Middenland, of course. They've all felt the touch of war, and a huge number of refugees, came down south, and they are now clogging the many cities, towns, and villages of the central and southern empire, including, of course, Aldorf, the capital. You already had a few jobs in Aldorf. You're all a bunch of misfits. And while the first job was pretty successful, you've discovered who was fixing the fights. One Konrad Kinnick, and you've actually you were able to put some fear of gods into him. Your second job, working for the eccentric Professor Wolfgang Kugelschreiber, well, it wasn't a failure, but it definitely wasn't a success either, because Kugelschreiber was blackmailed by some hoodlums, and as it turns out, the hoodlums in question, the extortionists, were all members of the City Watch.
Those bastards.
Yeah, and so you've decided to drop the job and to just, cut your losses and not fuck with the town watch, with the city watch. You were still paid to some extent by Kugelschreiber. If I recall correctly, he gave each of you 10 gold crowns. So, that's quite a lot of money, to be honest. But now, after a week later, more than a week and a half, let's say, you are probably aching for something else to do, for some new opportunity to earn good, honest coin, or maybe not so honest, because you've already worked for a crime syndicate of sorts. But gold is gold. And so you are sitting one day in the Shepherd's Wand, the nice, comfy tavern, located near the Street of 100 Taverns and run by the ever grim, ever mysterious, and ever silent elf Finron. It is probably midday, about noon. Now, Creepio and Lambert Cherryheart are not with you. Lambert, actually, you didn't have any contact with him for a few days now. He's not staying at Marla's house anymore. So you're not really sure what's going on with him. As for Creepio, he just went on an errand. He didn't really told you anything about. He just said that it's something private. So the two of you and Marla are sitting at the table, and you've just finished light lunch. The lunch in question was actually pretty good. It was pie of hen meat and beets with some refreshing cider. By the way, after a week and a half, I would like all of you to deduce and also know that for the guys, probably 2 shillings total each.
Okay.
For food, for accommodation, stuff like that. Finron also asked you earlier that day if you want to stay at the tavern because you're like the what's the word that you're using when you are your booking time is almost up. But of course he says that if you want, you can stay.
Oh, Keith is here.
Yeah, Keith. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, I don't know what other plans we have, but I think we should stay. This place is pretty good.
Yeah.
He says, very well. In that case, I suggest staying for 2 more weeks, as I will give you 5% discount this way.
Sounds great.
What's his name again?
Finron. He's in the handout section at the very bottom.
Okay.
He just nods, and after that, Cripio went on his errand. But now, as you are finishing your meal, Cripio is actually entering the tavern. Cripio,
Oh, hello.
you're seeing your friends, except for the halfling who hasn't been with you for a few days now. You're not really sure what's happening to him. They are sitting at the table and they've just finished eating. You had something to do on the city, and I would like to tell me what was the errand in question.
Oh, well, I had to go get a cobbler to get my shoes fixed. It seems I've been wearing them out running around doing all these errands lately. Also had to get my back checked from doing all the physical labor.
Nice, I like that. Although you probably visited some, quack who said that, oh yeah, everything's fine with your back. Yeah, just I'm going to slap you here, slap you there. Brand as new. Excellent. Yeah.
He put
Shalia,
some ointment behind my ears. He said it'd make me strong.
Shalia, praise you, boy. He says, and
Yes.
sends you on your way.
Power of Shalia compels you.
Of course. The day, of course, is warm. It is summer. It is very. Actually, it is very hot and humid since Outdorf is located. It was built on a swampy area. There's this rather unpleasant dampness in the air. And with the unwashed masses of humanity, and not only humanity, it can get a bit irksome. Kree, I presume that you are joining your friends at the table. Kree lost
Oh,
his
yes,
tongue.
of course.
All right. Kree, you are...
We just got offered 5% off if we pay for 2 weeks up front.
Wow, what a deal. Whose coin purse is being lightened by that?
Probably Lambert's.
Oh, I'm
Bring us
in.
back.
Then I'm in. It'd be nice
We'll
to have a place we know, not that we can call home, but we know to return to if we get split up.
Yes. We'll never split up again.
So how much is it for all 4 of us for 2 weeks then?
For all 4 of you for 2 weeks. Let me quickly check one thing.
Oh, if we're going by, I don't know about the -5% part, but it would have been 8 shillings for all 4 of us.
For 2 weeks?
Well, because you had us pay 2 shillings for, but I don't. Was it a week or was it 2 weeks that was the 2 shillings was for?
Oh, that was 2 shillings a week. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it would be
So
16
16.
shillings. But with the 5%, what would that be? Math is hard.
Wait
You
a
just want to call it 15 for simplicity's sake? I'll pay the sum of it.
Hold on a
yeah,
second.
okay, sure. Let's just say that 15 and this will be easier.
I'll pay it.
Mhm. As you know, Finron returns to collect the payment. You know, he places his hands on the table and says, Do you want to earn some honest good coin, humans?"
Well, we'll earn any kind of coin, but honest is better, I suppose.
There's a man in town who is seeking help in locating someone. He's not from here, not from your empire. He says that with almost a slight disdain in his in his words, you think. He's from up north. He offers good payment and was asking a few accomplices of mine if they know of someone who would be willing to help him. They've asked me, and I thought of you, since you are clearly the type of man who deal in this kind of stuff. The thing with elves is usually that even when they're not trying to insult you, they usually insult you.
Yeah.
At least you have this strange thing that they are almost always slightly racist.
Mhm.
Well,
It's okay. He has human friends.
oh Jesus, yeah. Well, I mean, it's more about the air of superiority with him, but I mean, he's not too bad. He's not too bad. For example, he dresses in a very human fashion. It's like a mix of this fine elven clothing and your baggy human sleeves and pants. So he looks a bit strange. So, can I point him towards your direction?
Yes, I think that would be great.
He looks at others, not just you, Johannes. And
Like, well, guys.
Yeah, got to work in the city, right?
Mhm.
and he looks at you, Kree.
I'm 15 pounds or 15 shillings lighter now, so
Kree? Keith? You here? Well, he's not here. He just the Skaven took him. What a shame.
oh,
Uh-oh.
I mean, he is here, but I know. Hopefully, he'll be back. Anyway, oh no, now he's not here. Like I said, Skaven. What can you do?
Yeah. Mhm.
Fucking rats. Anyway, as I presume you all nod, or at least even if only two of you nod, then the third one doesn't matter. Marla just looks at you, Gustav. She's not saying anything. Finron.
Marla's here?
Yeah, she was here because the other two guys weren't here, so I decided that she was here.
Okay, yeah, I
but-
wouldn't have been ignoring her, right?
No,
Hello?
I mean,
You guys
she's.
hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
we do.
Yeah.
When's the last time you guys could hear me?
When you entered the tavern.
Oh, jeez.
He had a whole exposition and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm serious.
He did the whole song and dance, and we missed it.
Okay, so Keith, bring us up to speed. Let's hear what you were saying, what you were doing, because this can change the dynamic.
Well, I don't really know about just taking jobs from a third party, and I don't know that 15 shillings is really a lot compared to what we've made recently. What kind of pay are we talking here? I think we need to know more before we just blindly agree on what we're doing.
The elf sighs, looks at you with the look of there's only this one guy, and says, "Well, I'm sure that Radovich, the man in question, will tell you the details, but from what I've heard, he's paying good honest gold. And it's only about finding some human female in the city. No offense," he says, looking at Marla. So I mean, how hard can this be? It's not like you're fighting a dragon, right? I'm sorry, that was a very strange. That was a very strange example. What I'm saying is that he seems as a good, honest man who just wants to find someone probably important to him, and he's paying gold. At least that's what I've heard. But I don't know the details, so if you want to know the details, you need to speak with him.
Well, rescue missions cost extra.
Well, I never said that it was a rescue mission.
Finding a girl missing in this city, it's a rescue mission.
Well, I'm sure that you can negotiate any additional fees with Mr. Radovich, if, of course, you are inclined to do so. But from what my contacts told me, he hails from a rich and rather important family from Kislev. He's not.
Now you're speaking my language.
Yes, I've been for over 100 years. Thank you.
You think you'd be better at it?
I know. I am trying every day. But the thing with primitive languages is that sometimes it's hard to get a grasp on them. Good grasp. But I'm trying.
What's that word mean?
Never mind. Anyway, the Radoviches, I've heard that they are some kind of traders, merchants from the God's forsaken land to the north. All ice, wilderness, open steppes, and alcohol. Lots of alcohol, of course, because humans. Anyway, if you're still interested, I can probably have young Radovich here within an hour.
Sounds great.
Yeah, set up the meeting.
He will come here to this very table, so I suggest you should order something as you wait for him. Or not.
What's on the menu here?
What else do I have?
Oh, we just finished breakfast, right?
It's like early lunch. It's like the meal after breakfast, but before, the big lunch.
So we're having mimosas and
I can maybe I could offer you some gooseberry tart. Very fresh, very delicious.
sounds good. Gooseberry tart and a round of ales.
Very well. On the house, he says.
Oh, why? Thank you.
I'll have tea. Some of that tea you served a few nights ago, if you still have it.
Of course, I have. So ales for the three of you, and tea for you, my young Marienburger friend. Very well. And with that, he, quietly and very, very gracefully moves away. You all look at each other as you wait for him to come back with your, first with your, desserts, so to speak, and your beverages. And then you probably need to wait before he actually brings Radovich here. Then, whoever this Radovich is. Yeah. It's all quiet.
So I think whatever he's asking for, or he's going to pay us, we should ask him to double it. That'll give us the upper hand in the negotiation.
Sure.
It's
Perfect.
probably-
All right,
Well,
we're on the same page with negotiating the price then.
How hard can it be to find somebody in this town? We've already found like several people. At least two. No, three. We found 3 people. So.
It sounds like the runaway child scenario.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Daddy wouldn't let her have the have a new
Oh.
coach. So
Out dishonoring the family in the big city.
should be a cakewalk.
Yeah, no problem. No privacy, hoity-toity lady who's spoiled and doesn't know what she got herself into.
Well, the elf, of course, very quickly returns with the gooseberry tart. It is delicious. Gustav, you've also been given, a cup of the very aromatic mint tea, while Johannes, Kree, and Marla were given a stein of light ale, crisp and cold, perfect for this hot summer weather.
Breakfast beer.
Yeah. You finished the tart rather quickly. You are enjoying your beverages, and I mean, of course, you don't have any kind of watch or anything, but you're sure that it was even less than an hour before Finron enters through the main door with a man, he's a very young looking man. He's tall and thin, with extremely gangly arms and legs. But his slight frame is concealed beneath a huge black coat and matching fur hat, and you are sure that he's always wearing them, no matter the weather. And he looks around him with this, wide-eyed wonderment, as he just takes in all of the sights and smells. That said, you also think that on his face, you see a few bruises, perhaps. Like he's been, beaten up. And by the way, he carries a lot of stuff. He has this small travel chest on his back. You see that he has 2 textbooks hanging from his belt. There are just, papers coming from his pockets. And the only weapon that you can see on him is a slim, slightly curved dagger, very, very nicely ornamented, stylized. Finron just puts his hand on the young man's shoulders, points the finger of his other hand towards you, slaps him like twice on the shoulder, and then just goes behind the counter. The man in question, Radovich, you guess, quickly approaches you. Greetings, comrades! I am introducing myself, please, as Radovich. I am from this parts, not at all, and my head is thinking that you are the same, no?
Yes.
I come from Kislev to marry, but I am here already for 1 week and I am not finding my Eva. My father is arranging the marriage and I am writing to her many letters which she's not replying to. You will please be helping me find her, yes? There is being a dowry of large sums from which I can pay large sums, but before then I can only give you 5 gold crowns, leaving me not much at all.
Well, take it.
Very well. Oh, by the way, he's speaking all this in a very agitated way. He's, waving his hands around, and you see that the other patrons are looking at you and at him, especially, with those very raised eyebrows. Clientele in this place is usually of the decent kind, like there aren't any cutthroats here, but, you can see that the people are a bit perplexed.
Radovich.
Yes, I am Stig Radovich from
Stig.
Kislev. Yes,
Yes.
Stig Radovich. I'm
So
going
you-
Yeah.
So your fiance ran away, and we need to find her.
Oh no, she didn't run away. How you can say that thing? She ran away like
She's
I
lost.
am no good. No, she disappeared. You see, I am from an impoverished land-owning family in the icy wastes of Kislev. Yes, yes. And so for the past 2 years, I've been writing increasingly poetic love letters to one Eva Staller, the daughter of a wealthy Aldorf merchant. Actually, yes, Aldorf merchant. I mean, they're not from Aldorf per se, but you know what I mean. And the Stallers, they wish to establish a Kislev link. And so my family, so the family have offered a substantial dowry to my clan.
I see.
Well,
Has
anyway,
anyone ever met her?
no, I didn't met her, but I sent her many good love letters. But you know, after I've traveled here mostly by foot, and let me tell you, this was a very grueling overland journey. I've been unable to locate my betrothed, or to actually find any word of the Staller merchant family. I can't even consider the possibility of the Stallers not existing, or that they might have fallen to foul play. Yes?
Yeah.
Certainly, we can look into this. I think it's a catfish scenario.
Yeah. I was gonna say Nigerian prince. So Stig, have you ever received any letters back from?
No, of
Ava?
course not, but I don't have to. I mean, this is love, yes? You don't expect anything in return, you just give yourself all the way, eh?
Yes.
Yes,
That is
anyway,
true.
I am not staying here, I am
is
staying
blind.
in the Cooked Goose Inn. I must be remaining myself right there, because what if my Eva is looking for me also? She has plenty better chance of finding Radovich if he's in just one spot, particularly if that spot has the most excellent privy. In Kislev we have no privy, Radovich is liking the privy.
Yeah. Crapping with a roof over your head has its benefits.
Very much benefits, yes.
Okay.
Whoever sent Eva any expensive gifts?
No gifts. It was, as I said, you could say that this was a marriage of convenience between her family and my clan, but you know, a true love came blooming between us, and so it is not only good for our families, it is also good for us, because we are very much in love with each other.
Of course.
Do you
I
have
can tell.
Do you have a picture of her?
He looks at you, Kree. Because I can feel it in my heart. No, I have no picture of her. Of course, how can I have picture of someone I've never seen in my life, eh? You're not very smart, but I still like you anyway.
I was just curious.
I have a picture of her in my mind, in my soul, in my heart. I see this beautiful lady with lustrous brown hair, hazel like eyes, full hips, and huge titties. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm taking notes in my journal, getting all this down.
Big tits, check. All right. Well,
Where were you sending the letters to?
I've been sending them to the Four Seasons Couching Inn. They were supposed to pass them to Eva's estate, to the Steller's estate. I mean townhouse. I mean, you know what I mean.
when's the last time you sent a letter?
Right before I left. No, sorry. Right before I left, but also when I came here. I came here a week ago. And you know, I've sent a letter when I arrived in your wonderful city of Aldorf. But no one answered the letter. No. And I got this. And he points at his bruises. When I visited the local Four Seasons office. And I got thrown for a night in jail after trying to get Staller's address from the Four Seasons coaches. But of course, as you can probably guess, they didn't give me the address.
What did they say?
Well, they told me to go fuck myself. That it's not you know, they can't give the address of a respectable merchant family to some, and they used various slurs which are very uncalled for. Men from the north, eh?
So there's the Stella family. How do I spell that?
Staller.
Yeah, I mean, I think personally that it's Stoller, but for the German,
Oh, Staller.
yeah, it's like this, Staller.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have Eva, Staller, yeah.
I would have put an H in there somewhere.
Probably, yeah. Staller.
Staller.
which means steal in German.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
So, will you help me? I can pay you now 5 gold each. And after you finish, I will pay you more.
Yeah. Well, at the very least, do you know? So who's the guy who gave you those bruises?
Well, it was one of the guards at the coaching house, you know?
Maybe Kree here can return the favor.
No, there's no need for that, I don't want any violence, I just want my Eva to be found.
What is it with all these people not wanting violence? All right, yeah. No, we're not the we use our heads, not our fists.
Look, for now
Yeah.
I will pay you, and he, opens his purse and gives each of you 5 gold crowns. 5 gold crowns. If you find out what happened to the Stallers, to my Eva, and then after you find out what happened to them, we can decide what to do next. And then if you decide what to do next, I will pay you more. In fact, I will pay you much more, each of you, but only after you find out, eh? I think that's, as you say in this fantastic lands, fair.
Yeah, sounds great.
Sure.
Thank you.
I think we're in agreement.
Hold my hand out.
He shakes your hand.
Oh.
Well, anyway, as he shakes each of your hands, even Marla's, she looks at him wide-eyed and just, as she looks at him like someone who's not sure if this is not some kind of a play, of a stage performance, stuff like that. Anyway, I must go now. To the cooked goose, because if there's even a chance that my beloved Eva will look for me there, I must be there. Radovich, Stig, which is myself, I am very grateful to all of you for helping me lots. Yes, thank you. Bye. And he runs away.
All right, so let's just get a new job and tell this guy we couldn't find her. Thanks for the 5 gold.
Oh, come on. I believe in love.
I believe in love too, but I don't think this is love right here. And I don't think if he's the one receiving the dowry, I don't think he's got the money to pay us.
Well, 5 crowns is 5 crowns, says Marla. It's always 5 crowns more than, not at all.
I think it can't hurt to look into this for him, and yeah, 5 crowns with the promise of much more for what seems to be a pretty easy job. We just go there, find out what the deal is, and maybe shake a tree, see what falls
Well, I
out.
think the first order of business is to find out if there actually is a Staller estate, or if this is a made-up person.
Yes. All right. So they're supposed to be. So where is the Four Seasons in relation to us?
You don't know. You have no idea.
Okay. Four Seasons landscaping.
Four Seasons coaching in is like the biggest.
You've all heard about
I don't know
it.
if I would know this. Okay.
You've all heard about it, of course. Four Seasons Inn is the biggest coaching company in the Empire.
A Greyhound.
Yeah, it's like those American Greyhound buses, sure. But you're not really sure where they have their offices in Aldorf. They can even have more than one, to be completely honest. Although now that you think of it, no, they probably need to have one because Stig was sending letters to their office, so that means office, not offices, plural, singular, not plural. So yeah, you would probably need to ask about. But you can also, all of you, roll intelligence, and I can give you a few clues if you want. If you don't want, you don't have to roll it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, but
Nice.
I'll roll intelligence. What the hell?
Oh, you don't have to worry about botches. No, you didn't pass,
I-
Johannes.
yeah,
Sorry.
I have common knowledge Wastelands though. I don't have common knowledge Empire, so I don't know.
No,
This
it's not common knowledge. It's just basic intelligence. Actually, I'm going to roll just for shits and giggles. Nice, 5 for Merla. Anyway, but Gustav, you've passed, and you're a PC, so I'm going to tell you. Or rather, how would you start looking for them?
Well, I was
No,
suggesting
I'm asking Gustav specifically.
Okay.
See how I would start looking for the coaching end?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask the innkeeper.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Innkeeper. You've also remember one thing. Stallers were merchants, apparently.
Yeah.
That's what sticks say. They were a merchant family. So that means, and you are in Aldorf, which is probably the best, most organized, city in the whole of the empire when it comes to things like, various records, ledgers, stuff like that. You are pretty sure that if Stallers were merchants, there will be some information about them somewhere in one of the offices in Aldorf. You're not sure which, you're not sure where, but there has to be a trace. If they were honest merchants, they had to pay taxes, they were noted somewhere. Yeah. So you are asking, you want to ask what about the where the four coaches season, 4 seasons coaching houses? Yes.
Well, yeah. I guess I want to ask if anyone's ever heard of the Staller family around Altdorf.
Very well. Let me quickly see one thing. Where do you want to ask about this? Do you want to ask about this here? Do you want to ask about this somewhere else?
I want to ask a Finran first.
Mm-hmm.
But then let me look at a map.
Then what? Sorry?
I'm looking at the map to see where we're at and where we would need to go.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, in that case...
Mercantile area, I guess?
Well, there's certainly more than one in Aldorf.
Yeah, I was trying to look for where that number 5 was and can't find it.
Okay, you want to ask Finron, yes?
Yeah. My next guess would be the docks, because coming from Marienburg.
Oh, 5 is I don't know. How the hell do you ping in this? I don't remember. Is it like control and click?
No, you just push left mouse on the. You squeeze the left mouse above the area where you want to ping.
Okay, well I'm trying to do it right now and I don't see anything happening. But I found 5. It's just down to the like 4 or 5 o'clock from number 12. Do you see number 12? Sort of semi in the middle there, at the top.
Number 12, yeah, and so 5
and
o'clock.
5 is.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it's just hard to read. Yeah, I don't know why I can't ping. That's weird.
What you mean here? Yeah, somewhere here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit to the northwest of that, but yeah, that's it.
Yeah, there's Grandmark here, which you've visited not too far, not far ago, and you are right now here. So this is still on the same bank of the. I mean, it's in the same part of Aldorf, essentially. So yeah, you can probably check there. There. In the mercantile area, there's the biggest concentration of all markets, shops, stalls, stuff like that. But first, Gustav, you approach Finron and you want to ask him. And I would like for you to roll. Fellowship plus 20%. Nice. You approach the elf as he's cleaning the counter. He looks at you. He's not saying anything, just raises his eyebrows slightly as to inquire, yes. What do you ask him?
You've lived here a while. You ever heard of a Staller family?
He said, he looks at you with this, with his piercing, slightly unnerving stare. He says, "I've heard that name. Yes. They are merchants, apparently. I think they're not from here, or I mean, they weren't from here. They came from the north, I believe. But I never had any deals with them. That said, you might want to speak with someone from their what's the word in your language? From the same class, social class. It would probably be best if you would ask a merchant about a merchant. Not far from here, there's a man named Gregor Gospel. He owns a textile shop. He's a reasonable enough man. You can tell him that I've sent you. He'll probably be more willing to help, he says. And he gives you directions to his shop, essentially.
I appreciate the information. I'm going to give him 2 shillings.
He nods, says, "Thank you." And he just returns to his business. But of course, he is grateful, and he gave you the instructions to reach the man's shop. It's about 10 minutes from your tavern, from your inn, slightly to the north towards the University of Altdorf. So not too far. Gustav, you return to your comrades, I presume, and you tell them the good news. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's good news because that definitely complicates it if it's a real family. We can't close the books on this one just yet, guys.
Well, I mean, they could just be using the name to, but anyway, yeah. So we can so
They say that they were dropping off these letters at the same place, right?
Stig was dropping the letters he was sending the letters to the
Four
Seasons coaching house in Altdorf.
and then they were forwarding them on to the family.
Yeah, they were supposed to forward them.
We should go there and ask if that's a common thing. Like, do they often get mail forwarded to, I guess, nobles?
It's like they also do the equivalent of like mail delivery.
You don't have to roll for that, any of you, no matter from where you come from, to know that it happens. Yes, sometimes coaching houses act as essentially post offices in the Empire. You send them letters, of course. You have to pay them as well, but they forward them. Although it depends how fast. It depends on on the kind of a coaching house and if they have if they have a lot of work. So sometimes the letters can stay for a few days, few weeks, even longer before they are being forwarded to. But yeah, you would know. All of you would know that.
I think that might be like plan B to check with the Four Seasons, because he could have just been sending the letters and then they don't go anywhere, or they go to the Stoller house, but they're like, "Who's this guy sending us these letters?" and they just never respond. So I think we need to find the Stoller family and see if they're aware of this guy at all. It seems like it's an actual family in Altdorf. Fenran said they're not from here, though, so I don't think they're Reichlanders, at least.
So with that, I presume you also exit the Shepherd's One and you go north towards the shop of one Gregor Gospel. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. As you travel through the not so wide in this area of the city streets and another various routes, you are of course once again assailed by the huge number of people, beggars, outdoor citizens of course, and refugees, um, humans as well as various non-humans, dwarves, elves, mostly halflings, at least here, who are selling. Usually, they are selling, food and drinks from their mobile stands, from carts, essentially. You ask about the man in question, this gospel fellow, and people point you to the right direction. And eventually you arrive at the right in front of a large two-story house. You see there's a large sign hanging outside, which says go spells, wondrous spells, and there are brackets. Not really. I'm just selling physical goods. The sign is rather large, so
Yeah.
he probably had to pay someone a pretty penny to create this sort of thing. You see through the windows, which are of course kept behind iron bars. You see various rolls of fabric. You see you see costumes and suits, and of course the doors are open, but you're not sure if there are any clients inside.
What do you say, guys? Should we go in here and see if he's familiar with the stallers?
Wouldn't it hurt?
Lead the way.
All right, let's go inside.
Johannes, you enter first. The rest of you enter after him. Inside, it's a bit dusty, but you also smell the rather unmistakable smell of freshly cut cloth, of various ingredients used to preserve fabric. You hear sounds of knitting coming from behind the counter, from further back into the house, and there's a man standing in front of you behind the counter. He's a middle-aged fellow with well-kept mustache, slightly balding, slightly overweight. It's clear that he's been eating good and he's been living good, because you see, even in this gloom, which is present in this shop, you see that he has rosy puffed cheeks, and he says, "Oh, welcome. I am Gregor Gospel, and this is my fine shop. Tell me, what do you think about the sign?" And he smiles at you with this set of rather impressive, clean, and healthy teeth, which is something very unusual in the Empire.
Okay, so what do you think about the sign?
Yes, about the sign above my shop, huh?
It's quite impressive.
It's pretty funny, huh?
Yeah.
Although I had a few visits from the local watch, they were inquiring if I was, and he whispers, a spellcaster. Ooh. Just kidding. I'm your ordinary cloth trader. How can I help you, fine gentleman and you, beautiful lady? Can I sell you some cloth? Maybe some suits? I can even order a very nice long skirt for the lady here. My prices are very reasonable, and I'm an honest man, he says.
Sounds very good. We actually we do want to shop around your place here, but we had a question for you. We're new to Altdorf, and we're looking for a specific merchant family, and we were hoping that maybe you might be able to tell us where they are, or point us in the direction of someone who would know where they were.
He looks at you not with suspicion, but he's certainly surprised. Especially, especially you see Johannes that he quickly took a glance towards Cripio and Gustav. And he
We're
says,
staying at Fenran's place, and he said you'd be able to help us.
"Oh, your Finron's friends. He's a good business associate. I respect him a lot for an elf. That is, just don't tell him that I said that. For an elf part, of course. Well, very well. I mean, if Finron vouches for you, then I will try and help you." And he said that with this slight, hesitation.
Well, thank you very much,
I'm
sir.
sure you will.
We're looking for the Staller family. Have you heard of them before?
When you said that, you see that even in this gloom, you see that his face dropped a bit. Well, yes, actually, I know of the Staller family. Some of my stock, it came from their warehouse. You see that
Interesting.
he's not really. You're not sure if he's really willing to say anything else. Do you want to charm?
Do I want to charm?
And before that, Sean, raw intelligence plus 10%.
Okay.
Nice.
I passed
Okay.
that.
You know that probably with this kind of people, and in this kind of situation that you're in now, you're almost sure that you have to bribe him in some, to some extent. You're not sure how much, but even with the whole, Finron sent us thing, it's clear that this man is not willing to say everything to you.
Yeah.
You see that his eyes are darting to the sides. He's sweating a bit. He's banging the fingers on the. He's banging his fingers on the counter nervously. When you mention Stallers,
I'm gonna show Marla a dress that I think looks expensive.
she says that, "Are you going to buy
Okay.
this for me? Really? How nice of you."
You like it? You think it'll look good on you? Why
Sure.
don't you just buy it right here?
I mean, she says, I would be very grateful to you for that.
What's-
Very, very grateful.
Mr.
Yes.
Goldspell, what would be a good price for this this dress and like everything else we might get here today?
He says that he's like the slightly nervous. Oh yeah, the dress for pretty lady. Yes. I mean, this is a very fine tunic material. It's of good quality. Yes, and he essentially quickly makes his way from behind the counter. He passes you, Johannes, and you, Cripio. Very obviously very grateful to be speaking about something else than the Stallers. He presents the dress. Let me see, I have it here. Well, this is as you can see, this is a fine material. I can sell it to you for a gold crown and 5 shillings.
What do you think, Marla, Johannes?
I mean, this is a very fine dress Gustav, and it will look pretty on me. I'm sure about this. She says, with a slight smile.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm interested in, like, do you guys want to look around for anything you guys want?
Nah.
And a blouse for creepy over here.
A puffy shirt.
Like a Seinfeld pirate shirt.
Yes. Arr. Well, I think these clothes are a little too fine for me.
No,
like...
sir, not at all, says Goller. It's clear that you are a distinguished gentleman of fine breeding. I think you should only wear the best clothes possible. He almost looks, you can almost see pleading in his eyes, as to say, please talk about clothes and not the fucking Staller family.
Well,
We're talking about something dress just got
see, the problem is okay, out of character for a second. My charm is I don't have charm, so I'd have to roll on half my fellowship, which is 22. So I will try, but I'll say, like, I might be in the market for something, but I'm really mostly in the market for information.
I see.
So, do you want me to roll charm, or
as
I don't have
said,
bribe either.
you don't. Bribe is not a skill. You just give him the money.
Okay.
So that's my question, Sean. Do you want to charm, and give him some coin to have a bonus to your charm?
Yeah. Can I throw him a gold?
Of course you can.
All right. I'll say so. I'll slip I'll slide a gold across the counter, or put it in his hand, where whatever is.
He's standing in front of you, so you're just handing him the gold.
Yeah. And say, like, yes, I'm really mostly in the market for information. And then I'll roll my charm and cross my fingers that I don't fucking...
That's a plus 30% for you.
Okay. Okay, I pressed a button and nothing happened.
Nope.
Let me try again.
It will probably... Oh yeah, nice! 4! Wow.
God damn. Give me the money back.
with your second hand, you stab them in the throat.
Yeah.
Take the money, but he forgot to tell you what he knew, so no, you handle him the gold crown, and he looks surprised, but also very appreciative. He quickly pockets the money, and you ask him about what are you asking about? RP this, please.
So you say you've gotten some stock from the Stallers. So where's this warehouse located? What do they trade in?
He looks at all of you, and especially at you, Johannes, and he whispers, "Look, I don't know where they've gone, but they've gone. Their warehouse on the docks was emptied and burned to the ground. Odd that they were able to save all the goods before the place burned down. Lucky that, but I mean, some kind of terrible misfortune, happened to them. But I'm not sure about all of the details. Although, and he moves even closer to you, Johannes, but all of you, of course, can hear that, Creepio and you, Gustav. I've also heard another thing, and you see where he's saying that he looks genuinely scared. I've heard that the Stallers were cultists who set up shop in Aldorf because they were too well known in their native Middenheim for comfort, especially after the war. There had been a number of, and he looks around himself nervously, mysterious exhumations from the cemeteries and missing street children. And as the Stallers seem to have vanished, my guess is that they're probably either in custody or already burnt at the stake.
Very interesting.
But look, and he gets both his hands up. if I'm just a tradesman, if you want to know more, you'd probably have to approach someone from the merchant middle class of Aldorf to get more answers. But no offense, gentlemen, and you lady, and he looks at all of you, you may have some problems with that. You all know what he means, by the way.
Well, do you think if we bought some of your fine clothes that would help us?
Oh, good sir. I'm sure you are an intelligent man, so I'm sure that you know that it's not just about clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, I suspected as much, but
There are a few wealthier merchant houses nearby, and you can of course go to the mercantile area to the northwest, northeast. Sorry, you can ask there. I don't have any. I mean, I have contacts, but with all due respect, I'm not going to send you there with my name attached. I'm sorry. This is
No, that's fair.
This is too risky for me. If you manage to speak with any of the merchants about stallers, they may help you. But be careful. This is a nasty name to ask around for.
Yeah, I understand. Do you know where their warehouse was located exactly?
Well, I mean,
He's about the dogs.
by the dogs, but I don't know where they've. You would probably. You would probably have to ask at the docks for the location, or maybe.
Everybody says it's a rough part of town.
Or maybe go to the Hall of Records. Who knows? They could help you there. Of course, this is an official, well, government building, so be careful. And he also lowers his voice. You could also try maybe courts, the religious court, maybe Temple of More. I'm not sure. But other than that, I don't really have any ideas. I don't even want to know why you are searching for them. This is not not
yeah, it's okay.
Any of my business. But you've paid me gold, so I'm trying to help as much as I can.
You're a good man. Thank you.
I'm gonna put my 1 gold, 5 shillings on the counter for Marla's dress.
He once again, he pockets the money. He quickly, goes to grab the dress, gives it to Marla. Marla goes to this side room where she tries it on, and while she's changing, into changing the dress. While she's switching her clothes, you can continue speaking with the man.
So, is the Four Seasons coaching house, is that nearby here?
No, not really. If I recall correctly, the Four Seasons coaching house. Well, I mean, it's on this side of the city.
Yes.
It's near the northern gate.
Okay.
But I don't really. Wait, northern gate is the. It's called. You know that the northern gate is called the Gate of the Emperor or the Wolf Gate, and it is flanked by 2 massive statues of Sigmar wielding Galmaras and Ulrich wielding Blitzbale, opening up to the Middenheim Road. I've heard that it's there, but I never use their services, so. But I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not sure if the coaching season, the coaching house will have any information on a rich merchant family supposedly in league with dark powers, and he of course says that very quietly.
Yes. I smell what you're cooking there.
Well, my suggestion is either the Hall of Records, or you can try your luck with with one of the richer merchant families. Just be careful. The merchants, the middle class the mercantile middle class can be even more obnoxious than the nobles.
Yeah. Don't I know it? Alrighty. Well, thank you for your time and help, gentlemen. As soon as Marla's done, I think we should be on our way.
Marla's done. You see that she exits. You all see that she exits the changing room, and she looks very, very good in this dress.
Oof, walk slow. Walk slower.
Asks all of you. So, what do you think?
It looks stunning on you, Marla.
The man, the tradesman in question.
Oh,
says,
he said it.
No. He also says, "You look fabulous, mademoiselle." He says that Bretonian word, of course, in a very with a very phony accent.
Yes.
I think I'll keep it, Gustav. Thank you for that, she says, and she gives you a quick smooch. And with that, you all probably leave the store.
So, would the Hall of Records be near the Königsplatz? Or
You would have
would
to
it
ask
be-
about this. You have no idea.
Oh,
honestly.
okay. I have no idea. All right.
No.
Can we take like a quick
Yeah.
2-minute break?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
5 minutes
I
or whatever?
even want to suggest that. Yeah, few minutes break
Okay.
and we're back.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right. Be back in a minute, guys.
I'm back.
Yeah, I'll tell you a really quick story. Actually, never mind. It's mean. I don't know if it's mean. I went to go meet a girl that, for a date, right? And every picture, like she was okay. She was cute. But in every picture she was winking, right?
Yeah.
Like every single picture. And so like I meet her at this Mexican place and she's at the bar and I'm like, "Oh, hey, Nikki, right?" She's like, "Keith?" And she like turns and when she turns to face me, she's cross-eyed, right? And like I think she saw it like in my face that like I think I made like a reaction face, right? And so then like I tried to cover it up and I said, "Wow, when God made you, he made your eyes so beautiful they couldn't stop looking at each other."
No. What did she do?
She left.
No. Why?
She just left.
Why did you do that, dude?
I don't know, I was trying to be smooth.
Like, what was your goal in saying?
Says she had pretty eyes.
Like, could stop looking at each other. Like, how cross-eyed?
Very cross.
Very.
Very.
I I couldn't look past it. I think I could do slightly cross-eyed. You know the kind of cross-eyed where you can't tell if it's like you have to look at him head on. You're like, is this like a perspective thing or what's going? Is he actually cross-eyed? Like that kind of cross-eyed I could do.
Not completely cross-eyed plus overbite.
You know, like, oh no, there's a fly on my nose, cross-eyed. I think we have kind of limited options with this asking around about this Stoller family.
Yeah, I agree.
Like everyone said the docks are dangerous and you're gonna like they're gonna take your sneakers if you go down there basically. So we can't really go there and ask. And the Hall of Records, that's like it if they're being if there's rumors about like cults and shit, then witch hunters are involved, and you don't want to go to an official government building like asking questions like that. So
Especially
there's
with a
like the
face like
Temple of
mine.
Moor. What?
Especially with a face like mine.
They said like the Temple of Moor, which might make sense because they could be more discreet if you explain like we're not here about that. We're here about a missing persons thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
My money's on Temple of Moor though. Everything else could get hairy. We got like the whole family down here right now. There's like this crazy storm going on, 65-mile-an-hour winds.
Oh, in Raleigh right now?
Yeah, like got everybody on the first floor because we have these huge trees in the backyard, and one of those that like sliced the second level of the house in half.
I guess that's a concern.
It's kind of like life in the South.
It's
You know, there's really tall, like in Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, part of Florida. They have like those giant, really thin pine trees.
yeah.
Unless you get sort of by the coast. We have a bunch of those in the backyard, and they got to be like 150, 170 feet. Some of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're massive. Like I've seen some, like the tops of them break off before, but they fell back in the woods behind the house. Like instead of coming this way.
Hmm. Yeah. Do you have like a tree guy, an arborist on speed dial?
No, if that should happen, I'd probably just have to call insurance and
Yeah.
see what
Well,
they
no,
say.
but I mean, also just in general, that's one way is to have, I mean, it sucks because you got to pay them money, but they can, guys can come out and sort of assess, this tree is going to die and fall on your house.
There's like, well, the thing is, where the trees, where the trunks actually are,
Uh,
right? This guy in Wake Forest owns like this little like 20-foot strip of land or like 30 foot or something. You know what I mean? Like
oh,
behind all our houses,
oh, okay.
and that's like all he owns. So it's weird. Like having my neighbor where he had to contact the guy to cut down a tree.
Ah, I see. It's one of those situations
Yeah,
where it's
and
like,
it's just woods back there. There's nothing there, but there's just
yeah,
little tiny sliver of land he owns.
yeah. Okay, yeah, that definitely makes it more complicated. I thought it was like, oh, it's on my property and I can do whatever the fuck I want with it, but nope.
He's got to be a real estate troll or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just owning that little sliver in case anything else is done around here where they absolutely need that piece of
That's
land. You know what I mean?
eminent domain.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, well.
Because otherwise, it's just a huge liability. I mean, like all the trees he has there, they could fall on anyone's house, and that would be his insurance. You know?
Yeah, yeah. Go figure. People are weird. Oh, man. One of these days I'm going to clean up in here. in a way that makes sense rather than just moving a pile from here to there. So, I don't know, boys. This is sounding like a like it's going to be more difficult than we anticipated.
Oh, remember when I was like, let's take the gold and do something else?
Yes, I do remember that. Oh shit. All kinds of crap over here. All right. But yeah. So I guess we're on this. I'm assuming that the progression now is that we'll look. Oh, God damn it. We'll look for them, in the Hall of Records, whatnot stuff, and then we'll proceed from there. But I think I don't know what it'll get us, but I'm still interested in going to the coaching house just from the standpoint of it seems kind of odd that you go there and ask about something and then they just beat the shit out of you. you know?
He's like from another country, and he doesn't understand how it works, and so they're probably just like, "Get the fuck out, dude." You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's true. He is weird. I was thinking it's like, here, you need some downers, bro. Ugh. All right. Well. Oh, and I got a question for you, Brian, because I can't remember. So, you need to have trappings in order to exit a career, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
You gotta go
your
buy
first
'em.
career,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
start with all your trappings. So
Right. No. 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 I know that. Well, no, because because when I was looking at
just don't
merchant,
get
I'm like,
robbed.
yeah. Well, no, because when I was looking at merchant, I'm like, holy shit, you need like 1,000 gold to exit the merchant career. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'll do something else before I become a merchant.
There's kind of ways around it though. Like I think you could justify if you have like 1,000 gold in wares or something. You know what I mean? Or like whatever
Yeah,
you
no, no,
sell.
yeah. I mean that definitely is what it says. It doesn't have to be actually 1,000 gold. It can be 1,000 gold worth of stuff. But that's all I'm saying is it's like that's rough. and you, I mean, I forget what else it said, but it's like, yes, you need to have a warehouse, and you need to have a store, and you need to have 1,000 gold. Like, holy shit! But
A lot of
not
it happens
nothing.
naturally. Like for crime lord,
Huh?
when I was playing as Sally,
Yeah.
like my criminal organization is basically the party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so it's kind of subjective there. Like,
Sure.
as long as you can make the argument, you know.
Well, now it makes more sense why you were always like, because I remember at the time when I was playing, I was like, what the fuck are these guys doing? They're doing all these like side quests.
I was always very insistent that everybody put money in the pot, but in my
Yeah.
mind, I was like, "You're kicking up money to me."
Ah, I get you. It
You know
was,
what I mean? And so I
it was,
always had the money, so everybody listened to me. So
it worked. Whatever it was we were doing, it worked pretty well. I had no complaints. None of my characters did. Yeah, I'm still pissed that my kick-ass my kick-ass priest of Ulrich was such a lame ass. That's just because I couldn't roll for shit when I had him.
I hardly remember the priest of Ulrich. I remember your
Right.
wizard.
Yeah, well, the wizard was probably like the most fun,
Yeah, no.
and I actually
Sorry guys, I'm back.
stay with them. But yeah, no, the priest of Ulrich guy, he was kind of a nothing burger. I mean, his stats were fucking amazing, and you know he should have been able to like plow through stuff, but he just like I just rolled really shitty with him every time, and that was also we were in a thing where we were all like getting diseases and
Ah, the Thousand Thrones.
That started the spiral.
Such a fun campaign that was.
it was fun. That part of it wasn't fun when but that character died pretty quickly, and I got to play somebody else.
I remember the part where you encountered the brigands in the ruins of Wolfenburg, and they asked your priest of Ulrich if it's true that the Ulrichans are actually, you know, how he asked it. If you're pissing
Dog
like
fuckers.
no, if you're pissing like dogs, if I recall correctly, that was something
Oh my
like
god, yeah.
yeah. Anyway, we are back. And so.
Isn't that aren't those the brigands where Jason killed them with a shield?
I
or is that
think so.
something else?
Yeah, I think so.
he just like decapitated them with a shield.
Oh, the shield is a pretty good weapon if you have high enough stats, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you exit
Yeah,
the men's shop. You know where you have the vague idea, vague direction where the coaching house is. You also know that in mercantile area you can probably learn more about stallers. But tell me, what do you guys want to do now?
Well,
I don't think
we
we
were
came to a decision. I think
Yeah, we
have
need to
two
discuss
different
it.
ideas.
we were spitballing it. Well, we also discussed looking for some records, but I guess the question is based on where we are and where various other things are, that might inform our direction. So we're essentially, I thought we were in the mercantile area more or less right now. Or no, we're not yet. We're near number 7, right? We're near the University
You
of Altdorf.
are, yeah. I'm going to pink. You are somewhere here.
Yeah. Okay. And so we were not sure if we were going to be able to go to the if we needed to go to 5 to get that information.
Mhm.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Or to the
The merc-
coaching house, which is
House
somewhere
there.
here.
And then we weren't sure where the Hall of Records would be. So my suggestion would be from where we are at 7, head to 12, and then to 5. Just get the lay of the land at the
7, 12, 5.
yeah. So 7, 12 to 5. The reason that I want to go to the coach house is not to ask about the stallers per se, but to ask about like you know, ask. Well, maybe to ask about the stallers, but to ask about mail. But if you think we should go, maybe let's go to the merchant place first and ask more about the stallers, because we know we're gonna get some posturing / beating, asking about the stallers in the other place.
At the docks.
Docks is where we should finish because that's closer to where we are staying, right? Yeah, it's closer to where we're staying.
Well, remember, the docks are not only where you are staying. The docks, you know, they are
Rough.
Yeah, they are almost along the line of the entire city. Of the entire
Yeah.
city's like you know,
Okay, I see what you're
shores.
saying. Yeah.
Of course, yes, the docks are mainly located where you are staying on the other side of the river. Actually, those of you who have Common Knowledge Empire can roll me minus 10% test for this skill, if you want. If
Yeah, I'll
not,
do it.
you don't have to roll.
that
Nice.
I
would
don't
be
have
no.
time to Empire.
Yeah. Kree, you want to roll? No. Oh,
Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm not sure. I'm trying to see if I have Common Knowledge Empire or not.
if you're from the Empire,
Get
I
that at
think
half.
you
You
should
should-
have.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, but it's also like a dice I have to roll, right?
Yeah. It's another D100. It's essentially it's just off your intelligence.
Your intelligence, yeah.
Yeah, minus 10.
That would be no.
Sadly, no. But Gustav, you sadly remember. You don't know from where. Maybe you've heard it somewhere. Maybe you read it somewhere. But you remember that that there is essentially the Commission of the Imperial Archives, and that it houses official reports and court records, and that is located apparently in the University District.
Which is where we are right now.
Yes. So,
Ah,
I probably remember that from when I had to get my physician's medallion in Reichland.
you tell the rest?
Yeah. So, like, when I had to get my medallion to practice medicine here, I had to go to the, what was it called again? The Commission of Imperial Archives
Yeah, and records.
near the university.
Yeah, it's in the University District. So, you want to go there? Because it is the closest
yes, I think we should go there.
location to you right now.
And then be very careful how we ask about this there. And right at the beginning, I distance yourself from any
I think we should just ask about
knowledge of the weird shit, you know?
No. We just ask about reports of warehouses that burnt down.
Yeah, that's probably a vague way to ask, yeah. If you go in asking about the stallers,
Yeah, no, we don't have to ask about the stallers yet.
okay, yeah.
In that case, you go into direction of this of the Commission of the Imperial Archives. It's not far from where you are actually right now. It's near the Königplatz, actually, and eventually you reach the impressive-looking, building of the commission. Part of which is the Hall of Records, of course. You enter the huge hall in which there are dozens of clerks, scribes, not to mention, of course, all of the visitors, which who are standing in those long lines waiting for their turn to be heard, and you immediately know that you will also have to stand in line, wait in line, to one of the very bored-looking clerks, who ask you about your business here. Good thing is that this building is made, of course, entirely from thick stone, and the ceiling is very high. So mercifully, there it's at least slightly cooler than than the outside. That said, under the watchful eyes of this place, is many armed, very well armed and armored guards. I presume that you are starting your long waiting in line. Yes.
Yes.
So now tell me, are you all standing together, or does each of you, stand in a different line?
Let's stand in different lines.
I suggest we stand in different lines and try to overhear / gossip with people.
Okay. What about you, Gustav?
Is there an area where people wait?
No, I mean those who want to, do something here, who want to, solve their cases, solve their problems, they need to stay in line. Stand in line. People are waiting, for example, probably for someone sitting on one of the many benches, lying along the walls. Some even you see they've been waiting for so long, probably, that they, for example, brought some food with them, some drinks, and they are. A few people bunched up and they are, eating and gossiping. The guards don't mind and the clerics don't mind as well. But it's clear that the bureaucracy here is so bloated, it's so overbearing that you guess that that the lines can essentially just go for a few hours.
All right.
Maybe.
In that case, I'll get my own line and we'll see who wins this race.
Okay. Okay. That said, when you you get your own line, Johannes, you get your own line, Kree, you get your own line. Marla is not getting her own line. She's just staying with you, Gustav. But soonest as all of you took place in the lines, Kree, you suddenly feel tugging at your left trouser sleeve. You look down.
Yeah, sure. What's going on?
You see a kid, probably 6, maybe 7 years old, dirty. It's a boy with longish, unkempt hair. He's dressed in functional but not too high quality clothes. Hello, mister. Want me to stand in your line for you? Only a penny for an hour.
Nah, beat it, kid.
All right. And he ran away. Such a cute joy. Johannes, you feel the same thing, although on your right trouser sleeve.
Mhm.
Hello, mister, says slightly older kid, probably 10 years old, with a shock of dirty blonde hair. Want me to stand in your line for you? Only 2 pennies for an hour.
2 pennies, huh? Actually, I think I'll stand in my line, but maybe you could help me out with a little bit of information.
Oh, I'm not a snitch. Snitches get stitches, and he ran away.
No. Bitch slap. All right.
Gustav, you feel tagging on your waistband, but not where you have your purse, so you know that no one is trying to frisk you. You look down and you see, you guessed it, a young kid, very thin, very slim boy, asking you, "Hello, mister, want me to stand in your line for you? Only a single penny for half an hour."
I'm amused. Why not? I look at Marla. I give the kid a penny.
She says, "Yeah, very well." Although, and he looks at the line, and you see that he looks at the line with this look of someone who really knows his stuff. My prediction is that this line will be that it will take at least 2 hours before the line, before you would come to the window.
I give him 3 more pennies.
He says, "Oh, thank you, sir, for that amount of money. If you need to move some heavy ledgers from here, I will be happy to help you," he says.
I give him a little salute.
he and he bows to you
I see
and to
myself in this kid.
yeah. And he bows to you and to Marla. You see that the kid is obviously he's a street urchin, but he's also reasonably well kept for. Even though he's thin, he's not emaciated. It's clear that he's pretty well fed. He moves, energetic and fast. He's not a beggar. He's a street kid, but you know that there's a difference. He probably belongs to some kind of a local gang. And by gang I don't mean cutting throats kind of gang. Just taking care of ourselves kind of organization, probably run by the oldest kid in the neighborhood. You would guess.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. Mara looks at him as both of you move to one of the benches. She just shakes her head sadly. A lot of kids like that after the war on the streets. Much more than there used to be.
Yeah, that's how I came up back in Marienburg. What about you?
Story for another time, maybe. Those memories are still painful, she says. You see that she tries to smile, but you see that the smile is brittle and false.
Fine, Gandalf, keep your secrets.
A wizard always keeps his secrets. No, sorry, a wizard is always on time. Sorry, my bad. Um, one day I would like to probably open some kind of institution for kids like that, she says. To help
I
them.
can get behind that.
To help them get off the street. I know the Shalians are doing their best, but there are not enough of them in Altdorf, especially not now. And besides...
And us Stallions are an idealistic bunch to our detriment sometimes.
No, the worst thing, is that a lot of those kids, they don't want to get help. I mean, they look at Shalians and they see only weakness. I even heard them saying that they don't want to spend their lives as nuns or as alms givers, because there's no money in that. There are no riches in that. And then they just fall in with the wrong crowd. And well, after that, I don't have to tell you. I mean, you went through that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I lucked out though. My brother, not so much.
Most of my childhood friends, they never. Well, once they got into this sort of life, they ended up dead. Especially those who joined the hooks or the fish. Bastards, all of them. She says, Gustav, that essentially speaking, about the hooks or the fish in this kind of way, loudly on the streets is pretty dangerous. They are two of the outdoors' biggest gangs and the most notorious ones, essentially. Anyway, you are all waiting, and it takes some time. Johannes, Kree, and Gustav, I want all of you, three, to roll me d10. Whoever rolls highest goes to the window first. Just a d10, so no skill required.
Be awkward if we tie.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, you all go together. There are more than than a dozen like windows here, because there are just so many people. Nice, Kree. There are just so many people, who want to have their stuff done. Kree, you're the first to approach a window. There's a middle-aged looking woman, probably in her late 40s, slightly overweight, with thinning hair. She's sitting behind the counter. There's there's a wooden cup of water to her right. Lots of papers, both on her desk and on the floor. She looks slightly haggard, but she also looks incredibly bored, and she sounds incredibly bored as well, saying, "Welcome to the Commission of the Imperial Archives. How can I help you on this very fine day, mine heir?"
Hi, I need to find out where a certain merchant family is from.
Yes, well,
That's the Stillers, I think.
the Stellars, yes, and she took out a huge book, like this very large tome that she barely holds. And she opens it lazily, very lazily, and she very slowly starts tossing pages. Stellars. It will take some time, young man, you know.
So did waiting in line.
S. Cree. Roman intelligence plus 30.
Plus 30. I definitely know how to do that.
Sure thing. Nice.
Nice.
Hey.
You are almost sure that this woman will try to play the long game, so to speak, and essentially, wait for you to just get bored and go away. You see that she's, turning pages, but she's not even really. You're not sure if she's even really looking at them. She's just saying.
I pull out a shilling and slide it to her.
She looks at the shilling. No. What do you think you are doing? You are trying to bribe a government official?
I'm trying to help you look faster.
Well,
I'm trying to give you motivation.
I once took part in a sermon where a priest taught that gold works best for motivation.
Oh, I see. Yes. I pull out a gold crown and take the shilling back.
She quickly snatches the gold crown. She's not, reaching for the shilling. She grabs the gold, she hides it under her desk. Yes, now, Stallers. Very well, very well. What do you want to know exactly?
I just hear that there's a betrothed who may have gone missing, and I just want to find out if that's true.
We don't have anything about this sort of thing. I mean, when it comes to betrothed, I can tell you, I can give you information about. Wait a second. Oh, here I have it. Yes. Stallers, they used to own a warehouse on the docks, but there was an incident rather, I should say, and burned to the ground. Well,
My.
well, you did motivate me well enough, so I am going to help you, and I'm actually going to grant you access to the census registry. You wait here for a moment, dear. And she takes
Yes,
out
ma'am.
she takes out this large bell from under her desk, and she rings the bell like ding 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 ding. From behind her, the door behind her open, and a young man in the uniform of this of this institution enters. It's clear to you that he's been working very hard. He's in good shape. A young, probably 18, maybe 20-year-old man. But it's clear that he's been hauling heavy things all day. And he's like, Yes, Frau Wenzel? She says, Humbert, be a dear, please, and fetch me the census registry. Yes? Uh, yes, Frau. Yes, Frau, but it is it is very hard. Then please ask Degenhardt to help you. Yes, ma'am. And with that, he runs away. After 10 minutes, he returns with another young man dressed exactly the same as him, except this one has blonde hair where he had brown, and both of them are carrying a huge, essentially, just almost the size of a chest, a huge leather-bound tome, with iron, with corners cast in iron. You don't see the title very well, but the woman in question removes a stack of papers from her right, and you see that under the stack of papers is this like stand. You took it for some kind of a desk, but you now see that this is a stand made exactly for a tome like that. The two young men place the tome on the stand, and she very phlegmatically turns to her right, opens the tome, and starts going through it. Staller, eh? By the way, this almost took like 10 to 12 minutes, so you are, it took you 2 hours to send this fucking line, and now it takes you almost, 12 minutes to just stand at this window. It is exhausting, by the way.
Oh, I'm so exhausted.
And she says, yeah, me too, what about it? Oh yeah, I have it here. The Staller family, they owned two properties. A townhouse, and I see that they also own the country estate. Interesting.
What's that?
Well, you see, it notes here that the parties in question are deceased.
What?
Come with me, please. And she opens like the door to the right of the window. It is very well masked, actually. You wouldn't even think that you can access her office from the side, but you can. Please follow me.
Yes, ma'am.
By the way, Gustav, Johannes, you see that Creepio is essentially, going inside.
Okay.
The woman takes you to the back rooms of this building, and they are a nest, or rather a hive of activity. You really have this image of a frenzied hive full of equally frenzied bees going around their duties. Lots of clerks are shouting, moving papers, discussing some various legal stuff with each other that you have no idea what they are talking about. There are young men and women pushing carts full of scrolls, full of books, tomes. There are even those like heralds who are apparently organizing the whole thing by shouting, that Section A, what's going on with those notices regarding the rights to the Schlaffenbauer estate? How long do we need to wait? Do we need to wait for those? Move it, stuff like that. You almost have this feeling like you've arrived in a completely different world, not even city, but a world. It's like you have no idea how anything is done here. It's just pure chaos. Anyway, the woman directs you towards a large notice board, and She asks you very bluntly, can you read?
Yes. It's not very fast.
You see that as you... she then points you to one of the columns, and there are many columns on this board. It is actually the deaths column, and there you see you see two names: Johann Staller, father; Eva Staller, daughter.
Wow, someone in Ava.
As you can see, the Stallers have sadly passed away. I can give you the access to the registry of properties, but that will...
Again, I'm sorry.
Johann Staller was the father,
Yeah.
Eva Staller was the daughter. She looks at you and says quietly, I can give you access to the registry of properties, but I need some motivation.
Oh, very well. I hand her another gold.
She says, thank you, please follow me. And this time you are moving one level down. By the way, all of this takes place like over the course of almost half an hour. And yes, Johannes and Gustav, this means that you are still standing in line, or rather, in case of Gustav, of course, you know, the young kid is still standing in line for you, because your lines were just much longer than
Like eavesdropping
Creepio's.
back.
What?
Kind of sit in the back with Marla and eavesdrop.
Roll me perception.
Oh.
You hear almost this constant white noise. There are so many people here speaking loudly, shouting, sobbing, arguing, gossiping, that it's practically impossible for you to catch anything important or remarkable. You know, there are things here concerning inheritances, you know, properties. Some, of course, you know, mainly people come here because of, you know, of monetary reasons, but it's like, to your ears, it's just nonsense. There are so many people speaking over one another that you can, you know, you can't really listen to anything concrete, solid. So that's what's happening. Johannes, what about you? You want to do something while we wait in line?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to listen in slash gossip with people about, you know, what's going on here or whatever.
Roll. Sorry, if you want to listen, you roll perception. If you want to gossip, you roll fellowship. That's
Okay.
the
I'll
difference.
I'll roll perception.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you hear that a couple standing in front of you are apparently, you know, they want to cash in some major inheritance from their deceased family member. You think it's an aunt? It was an aunt. And you know, the nagging wife, of course, is just, you know, speaking quietly but also loud enough that you hear to her husband saying that, well, finally we'll be able to move from that quiet apartment that we've been living in our whole lives, because you can't get a normal job. Oh, be quiet, woman. You're not working. You're just pushing more kids out of your vagina. You know, stuff like that. Well, I am making sure that your useless bloodline will continue, you stupid, and you know, essentially it's a very nasty conversation, very nasty. Yeah. And if you want to gossip with someone, you need to rob fellowship. Although you guess that probably speaking to those people is a very bad idea.
Yeah. I'll gossip to the person behind me.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
All right. So I say like, oh yeah, it's a shame about what happened to those stallers, isn't it? Did you hear anything?
Ah, no. Good call, Sean. Very good call. Nice. Let me quickly check one thing. Okay. Stallers, and he's like, Stallers. It's an older gentleman, you see. Like for an old world, very older because he looks like he's in his late 50s. Oh, I think I've heard this name in relation to some kind of fire in the docks, I believe. But why are you here for them, sir?
Oh, I had some business dealings with them, and I was awaiting payment. So I'm looking to see, if there's anything left in their estate, if they're still paying creditors or not.
Estate. But didn't their estate burn down? You should probably go to the docks and ask people there, The the stallers, they were what? They were merchants, eh? So they
Yes.
probably hired some people to work for them, eh?
Yes.
So, I don't know, maybe you can ask here, but those, and he points at the windows, those bloodsuckers here, they are notoriously corrupt. Before they will help you with anything, they want a bribe from you. Depending on the severity of your case. I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a woman who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a woman who knows a woman who knows a guy who had to pay 10 gold crowns to look at one of their Sigmar cursed ledgers,
10 gold crowns.
Quiet fool, he says, because when he said 10 gold crowns, a few people around you, including the pair from up front, looked at you. They all look at you. Quiet fool, don't speak so loud. People here, it's not always good if they hear your secrets. And the guards, and he nods towards one of the guards here who is looking at you, Johannes, with those squinting eyes, and that he's looking at you. The guards here, they are not the forgiving kind, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's been my experience with guards everywhere, unfortunately.
Well, in that case, nothing changed, especially after the war. When the old France decided that, all of the town guards will now be recruited from the military, or, well, they are the military, A lot of people thought that it would cut on the corruption, but it went the completely opposite way.
Yes, I have first-hand experience with that.
Then be quiet. What's going on with you, man? You are suicidal or something? You can't speak things like that out loud. Walls have ears, especially here.
Keep your shirt on, Grandpa.
Oh, I'm trying to pass you some well-earned wisdom, young man. You would do well to heed it. Then you'll be able to live for as long as me. 53 years and counting. And with that, you essentially just gossip, talk about nothing really. Creepio.
Talk about the Altdorf Raiders.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Creepio. You go down to the basements, and the amount of dust here, as well as the lack of space, is practically suffocating. Every single room is completely filled with countless bookshelves, just stuffed with various, tomes, books, ledgers, scrolls, papers are just laying on the ground. The clerks here, they look almost non-human. They are this hunched creatures, really pale because there's no light here except for the light coming from few lamps and candles. You have a feeling that you've almost entered some kind of hellish bureaucratic underworld, and that you'll be trapped here forever. But the woman in question, she guides you expertly towards one of the myriad, cramped rooms, and there she searches for a huge tome, almost as big as the one that the two young men brought. This one is slightly smaller, even though when she pulls it out, she just grunts with this, my back. She places it on a small table in the room, and she gestures at you. Well, come here, I don't have all day. I need to go back to the post.
I rush over to the book.
Very well. Let's see, Stallers. Look, it says here, she points you at the wall of text, that they had 3 properties. One is the warehouse, the one that burned down. Another, the townhouse, and the third, a country estate. That said, strange, she says. Look, there's no address for the family estate. You see that there's an ink spillage on where the address for the country estate would be.
Nuts.
And you also see that each entry lists every owner for every piece of property. You look at the country estate prior to the Stallers, you see that the prior owner was one Herr Oskar Schneider, and before that, Herr Wilhelm Hebbart. I'm going to... Oskar Schneider... Wilhelm Hebbart. That's for you, Brian.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. But you see that there's no address because it's been completely covered by ink. Well,
What about the building next to it? Can I see the address of it?
yeah,
Or the one across the street?
yeah, you see the other 2 addresses perfectly. The townhouse and the warehouse. You see where they are located. Only the family estate, the country estate. It's impossible for you to know where it's located.
Well, I guess this will have to do. I think they like shoot a wink at the
At the lady.
a big wink at the lady. Yeah, and thank her.
She has this.
Appreciate it.
She has this completely neutral look on her face as she closes the book. Very well, sir. Then I am very glad that I was able to help you. Now, please follow me. I will guide you to the upper floor.
I'll follow her out.
You follow her out. You follow her out, and you eventually, you go upstairs, exit the claustrophobic, corridors of the of the business side of this building of the Commission of the Imperial Archives. You enter her what's the word, office, and she opens the small door up front. The very the very well masked door. Exiting the front, and then you go outside. It's at this point that Johannes and Gustav, you are almost at your windows. When actually, if you want to see that Creepio exited the office, I would like for both of you to roll perception. Gustav, you have minus 10% because you are sitting with Mala in the back on the bench. Nice, Johannes, you've just been robbed. You want to reroll that?
Yeah, I'm gonna use a
luck
luck
point. No, Kree, you don't have to roll. only Johannes and Gustav.
Okay, no, now it's just a normal failure.
Yeah, you haven't been robbed, but At some point, you almost had this strange feeling that someone would take your purse, so you quickly, grabbed it with your left hand. Nothing happened, but yeah. Creepio.
Yeah, for little kids.
Yeah. By the way, Sean, I'm hearing you not too well. Like you have your microphone.
Oh, sorry, I was eating earlier and
Oh,
I forgot to put my microphone back down.
No worries, no worries. So, Cree, where are you going now? By the way, for convenience sakes, let's say that she gave you a piece of paper, and you've noted the addresses on the piece of paper.
Oh boy, I better bring these back to Johannes and Gustav.
Mm-hmm. Where are you going then? Are you looking for Gustav first, or for for Johannes?
Look for Johannes.
Okay. You look for Johannes. You see him standing in a line, like in a few lines to the left from the one in which you were standing. He's almost at the window right now. Really close. Yeah. So you approach him. Johannes, without any rolls, you see that Creepio approaches you.
Hey, what's up,
Whoa.
Creepio?
I greased the wheels of bureaucracy and got some work done.
Oh, fantastic. What do you got?
A way for us to get out of these lines and out of this building. Let's get out of here and talk about it somewhere else.
Excuse me,
Okay,
sir.
sounds.
You hear behind you.
Oh, hello.
You turn around.
Not now. I'm busy talking to my friend.
An armored gauntlet rests on your shoulder. It will
Oh,
only
my
take a minute,
schedule.
sir.
My schedule just opened up.
You turn around and you see one of the guards from the Commission of the Imperial Archives. He looks at you, Creepio, and only at you. Sir, you are hereby summoned to the offices of Raf Hebar, the Undersecretary to the Commissioner for Public Affairs.
I'll be right there. Just point me in that direction and I'll be on my way.
Please follow me.
Sure. And I do not follow him.
No, I mean, if you not follow him, he essentially wants to escort you.
Oh.
Sir, I'm not asking you. This is a command.
Sure. Let's go. After you.
No. Forward. You lead the way. I'll follow.
Man, I don't know where I'm going. How am I gonna lead the way, huh?
Forward, he says. I'll point you in the right direction.
I'll punch you in the right direction.
Yeah, point you. Although before you leave, he says, "Wait," and he looks at you, Johannes. You're with this man?
I've never seen him before in my life.
Lie.
Do I need to roll a lie?
Yes, you do. Minus 10% charm.
Okay. Minus 10% charm. Oh, and of course I don't have charm. Shit. So that's gonna be like a 12. All right. Well, let's. Sigmar, don't fail me now.
By the way, Gustav, you see this whole thing.
Okay.
Oh shit. Can I use a luck point on that to at least not botch it?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
But it's not. Oh, that is a double. Fuck. Okay. All right.
This is the worst. This is the worst outcome, by the way. 100. This is the worst
Yeah.
bot that
Of
you
course
can.
it is.
You essentially, you look at the man, you lick your lips, and you're like, I never seen the man in my whole life. And the guard just looks at you. You're the worst liar that I've ever seen in my life. Please follow me.
Yes, sir.
And he rather unceremoniously grabs you under your arm and yanks you from the line. With his second arm, he grabs Creepio under your left arm, and he just escorts you not too gently towards one of the side doors. Gustav, you and Marla, you see this whole thing. Are you doing anything?
No.
Marla is like, well, they're fucked. Shouldn't we do anything, Gustav?
What?
Shouldn't we be doing anything?
I don't think we can help from here.
Okay.
Let's not get caught up in it, and we'll see what we can do from the outside.
Sure. She says, just shrugs her shoulders slightly. The guard escorts you. You guess that he got more angry at Johannes than at you, Kree. But I mean, the guard is clearly very annoyed. Very annoyed. And he takes you to the side entrance, to one of the side doors, and through the winding, twisting corridors of this government building, oppressive as it is. Even though the outside is fairly pleasant. For example, you saw that that this building had tall gabled roofs and spires, and it was surrounded by lavish public, quote-unquote, gardens, which of course are patrolled by public guards expressly to keep the public out. Anyway, you are being brought to an office. Both of you can read, so you see a plaque on the door reading Ralph Hebert, Undersecretary to the Commissioner for Public Affairs. I'm going to...
Okay.
That's the name for you, Bran.
Okay.
The guard knocks at the door, and he's not shouting, but he's saying loudly, Herr Hebert, I brought you the man who asked questions about Stallers, and I brought his idiot friend as well. After like a second or two, this was the kind of surprise silence. You hear a very cultured and well-mannered, but also rather cold tone, even from behind the door. Bring them in. The guard opens the door and points to inside. Go inside, to both of you. And then once you go through the door, he slams the door behind you, and you hear the sound of a key in the lock.
Okay.
You see that inside the room is large and and well furnished. Of course, there are lots of bookcases, shelves. There is a huge desk, probably made from oak. Very nicely made, actually. Even though both of you guess that it's an old piece of furniture, it's still in a good condition. There's a single window, tall and high, but it's completely covered with dark, with dark drapes. So there's very little light here. And there's a man, an imposing man, with short dark hair and piercing steel blue eyes. You can see them. You can see his eyes even in this gloom. He has a pale, almost sallow complexion, and he's sitting behind the desk, wearing long black robes. Actually, I think I have his description, his better description here. Yeah. He's dressed well. He carries himself well. As he stands up, you see that he's tall and and in good condition. But the worst part is that both of you are sure that he's this kind of aloof, self-confident, and probably very smug person, as he looks at you and has this nasty superiority kind of smile on his face. Welcome, mine Aaron. I am Raf Hebert. Please sit. And he points to only a single chair in front of his desk because he was only expecting a single man. You, and he points at you, Creepio. You sit, you sir. You need to stand. But I'm sure that's not a problem for you.
No, sir.
Very well, very well. Yes, and so... Cree, are you sitting? Oh no. Cree just...
Uh-oh.
Cree
Did he
just-
drop out?
He's still on Discord. I see. Oh, he's writing somewhere. Yeah, I'm not hearing you, Cree.
Nope. Restarting.
Restarting. I'm not sure. Oh? Oh, I thought that. Keith? You here?
He's in Discord, but
He has
No route.
no route.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it looks like some kind of bug. Okay, he's leaving and returning. Let's see if he'll manage. My guess is that Michael won't be joining us today.
Yeah. Well, you never know. He could come in the next 15 minutes.
Yep, we shall see. Anyway, so let's say that Cree is. Oh, Keith, you here?
he's here again.
Oh, he's here, but does he hear us? I mean, I guess he hears
Is
us.
he in roll 20? Yeah, he's in roll 20.
He's on one. No,
Yeah, he just came.
It's Discord
He just
thing.
came.
Yeah,
Yeah, he just came back to Discord, but I don't see.
it's
I don't know if he's
maybe
muted
it
or-
has something to do with the plug. I know of the mic
What
plug.
now?
Maybe. Oh yeah, now.
Oh, yeah.
Nice, nice.
Working now?
Yeah, yeah.
Hello?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh
Okay.
man, you guys got robot voices. And there's
Uh oh.
How much robotic?
Discord's got 1,000 ping. I've got 933 ping.
Let me quickly check one thing. Discord. Because maybe there are just some problems. Oh, there were problems with Discord today, earlier, between noon and 3 p.m. My time, of course. So you know. But now it's supposed to be all right. Okay. Okay, Keith dropped. So let's do this. Let's do it like this. Chris sat on the chair, but the man looks at you, Johannes. What is your connection to this to the Stallers?
My connection is that I'm trying to find them.
Why?
The daughter was supposed to be betrothed to our employer, and he's looking for her.
Do you know about the scandalous rumors surrounding the family?
No, this is the first we're hearing of it.
Yes. Both Johann and Eva Staller were tried and convicted of unwholesome activities associated with the worship of a hidden god. I'm not, of course, privy to of the gory details, but suffice to say the Stallers were burnt at the stake in accordance with common practice.
Hmm.
Furthermore, he says, the authorities deemed that the Staller warehouse was too tainted by ruin to abide. It was destroyed. I am sure that their house will be condemned soon.
Yes, yes. Well, their house in town it's still standing.
For now,
Ah. Um. We did they have any other properties in the area?
they had an estate in the forest southeast of the city, but it is currently off limits while the appropriate authorities examine the place in detail.
Yes,
Al-
of course.
Although I do not have its exact location.
As well, it's probably for the best.
I think so too. Wait a second, I need to roll something. Roll perception test, Sean.
Perception.
Basic, no bonuses.
Yeah, yeah.
He's lying.
Yeah. He's lying that he doesn't know where it is.
He's certainly lying at some point. You think that he lied when he was talking about the estate in the forest?
Okay, that he doesn't know where it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or that it's being, or do I think he's lying about everything about it?
I mean, you're not sure
Okay.
when exactly he lied, but you caught that this man is certainly not telling 100% truth.
Okay.
So, who exactly hired you to search for the Stellars?
Oh, just a young man from out of town.
Mm-hmm. And who is this man? Does he have a name?
Rastapopulus, something like that. I don't know, some kind of foreign name. I don't quite remember it.
Very well. Well, good news. Then you can go back to this young man and tell him that the investigation is over. Johann and Eva Staller are dead. Sigmar be praised.
Sigmar be praised.
Their vile taint won't endanger any more of the good, honest folk of the Empire.
See.
So I guess that your job is done, right? He asks, smiling slightly.
Yes.
Good.
Okay.
Good. Good. I'm talking with you because clearly your friend here is. He's not the talkative type. But you look.
He
But
he
you.
fell out of a potato wagon as a kid.
That explains a lot, actually. He says. But you look like a well-educated man.
Yes.
You look like a reasonable man, I would even say.
I've been known to be reasonable.
Good. Now, is Kree... Okay, Kree is not here. I will need to roll for him in that case. Sadly, I don't like to do this, but I will need to. You are witnesses, so he passed. That was a perception roll. I'm sure that Kree has perception of at least 23. Let me see.
Unless he doesn't have perception.
No, he has. He has
Okay.
taken very well. Yeah, he passed. All right. Okay, so I would like for him to say one thing, but I'm not sure that if his character would do that, so I'm not going to say it. But Johannes, you see, in the corner of your eye, that Kree is looking very intently at this man. Like he just stares at him, like he's trying to drill into him with his sight.
Hmm.
You know that. You know that.
Okay.
Anyway, Raf, the man, Raf Hebert. So, is our business here concluded?
Well, I think it's almost concluded, but
You see that he looks at you with this again, one eyebrow raised. But in the case of this man, you know, when the elf does this, it's like whatever. I mean, it's strange, but whatever. But here, it creeps you out. You have this nasty feel on your, down coming down your spine. He's not saying anything. He just raises one eyebrow.
So I'm sure the Inquisition will corroborate your facts here, or whatever your name is, Hebert.
Hebert, yes. It was on the door.
Mhm.
Perhaps you are not as intelligent as I thought you were. As for the Inquisition, well, actually, that kind of convinced me that you are not as smart as I thought you were, because why would an Inquisition, be interested in my person and what I have to say? I'm a public official. I work for the betterment of our city. And I just told you about what happened to a pair of heretics. Burn at the stake.
Correct.
And you are
Yes.
probably a man of some standing, clearly educated, probably earning good money for someone of your age. But one thing you are not, certainly, and he smiles in a very unpleasant manner, is a friend of the Holy Ordos. Unless you want to convince me that you know Templars of Sigmar.
No, not at all.
This is a very dangerous path that you are walking, my young friend. I mean, saying Inquisition out loud, especially during this trying times, just so casually, it can get you in a lot of trouble.
Oh, well, I mean, I thought it was only the righteous invoke the name of.
Are you the righteous?
I pray daily, and
So
I observe all the rites of Sigmar.
So apparently did Johan and Eva Staller. They also pray daily. Not to Sigmar, mind you, to some other deity, apparently, but
Exactly.
they did.
Exactly.
So maybe you are also not praying to the right gods. Maybe I should use my
No.
contacts in the church for them to send someone who ascertain your piety. And your friend here, who, and I'm sorry to say that, but there are parts of the Empire in which someone like him would be considered changed. If you know what I mean.
Well, I can assure you he is not changed. And
That's, I believe you. Oh, wait. Every heretic says that, right? No.
well, they say that about themselves. He didn't say it about himself.
I never prayed to the dark gods. I was always a true citizen of the Empire. I go to the temple every day. Look, he looks at you, serious. I know that what you said wasn't threat per se, but I don't appreciate, things like that. Saying saying things like the Inquisition will confirm what I just said. Of course they will confirm what I just said, because I'm telling you the truth. And you know
Okay.
right now that he's lying because
Yeah.
you had this very good roll.
Right.
So this is
okay.
the... So let's leave it at that before you say one thing too many. Take your friend here, leave the premises of this building, tell your employer that, well, the Stallers are no longer his problem, or anyone's problem, to be precise.
Mhm.
And that's it. By the way, I'm
Well,
trying, but he's incredibly smug. You know,
Yeah.
he's just infuriatingly smug.
yeah. Good thing he's not talking to Leopold or
Yeah, I know. One Punch Man and
Stabby McStabberson.
or the Priest of Ulrich.
Yeah. Yeah, he.
Mhm.
But I think Conrad was the worst for that.
Yeah. Conrad was the best. Conrad Kinnick. Yeah.
All right. Then we will trouble you no longer. Thank you for your time, Herr Hebard.
He stands up. He's not approaching you to shake your hands, nothing like that. He's just calling guard. Door opens and the familiar-looking, rather unfriendly guardsman, walks inside. Yes, Herr Hubbard. Sorry, Hubbard. Hubbard, not Hubbard from the Scientology.
L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah. Yes, Herr Hubbard. My guests are leaving. Escort them to the main hall. Yes, Herr Hubbard. Follow me, he says, without please, of course. So you and Creepio, you get up and you exit the office. You follow the guards. As this happens, Gustav, it's almost 20 minutes, if not more, and they are not appearing. But meanwhile, your line, actually, you see that, yeah, it's your turn. You go to the kid to stand in line.
I start walking up there, and I reach in my pocket, and I turn to Marla and say, "We forgot the deed."
Oh shit, she says. Oh no.
I call the kid over. And I start walking out with him, and I said, "Do you mind running to our inn to pick that up for us?"
He looks at you,
I'm like ushering everybody outside.
yeah, with a slightly furrowed brow, and he says, "Yeah, but that will cost you extra."
No problem, no problem.
As you go outside, you exit the building and you walk outside on the crowded outdoor street. The heat just slams into you, and Marla, she looks at you. Gustav, what the hell?
I get 5 pennies out of my purse, and I held them out to the kid. I said, "Why would asking about the Stoller family in there get somebody arrested?"
Let me roll for him because it's not that obvious. I have no idea who this family is, sir, says the kid, and you see that he means it. It's not an act. Look, the people who come into this building, they usually come for money, because of inheritance or alms or something like that. So naturally, a lot of the stuff that is happening there is very shady, because me and the boys, we heard more than once that, the clerk was saying that, well, to this person or the other, that they can't give them money because the man or woman in question was long dead. Dead before even their their official like death time, whatever they call it, or that they were to no good, and he says that very quietly, or that they have no rights and stuff like that. I can ask about this Staller for you, but if it's dangerous, he says, you have to pay me a lot more than just brass.
Oh, okay. First, let me make it. I'll get out another penny, and I
Mhm.
say, you make sure the protector gets his dues.
Uh, very well. What does that mean?
And
Sorry, just out of curiosity.
and oh, that's 1/10 goes to Ronald.
Oh, he says
So
you
I've
you,
given
you
him
bet.
9 pennies so far. Yeah.
Hmm.
So just so he knows that I know, sort of know what's up here. You know what I mean?
When you says that he pulls out his left sleeve and you see a tattoo of a cat on his underarm, on his left forearm, under his left forearm, and you know cats are symbols of renown. You know that. So
Yeah, yeah. I
he
smile and nod.
yeah, and he just winks at you, and you know quickly covers the tattoo. Of course, the tattoo is shit, by the way. It's very. I mean, it's not shit. It's very basic, but you know why it's there. He says very well. Um, but what do you want me to do next?
Take him another 10 shillings
Shillings.
and say,
He's the.
yeah, there's 20 shillings in a gold, right?
Hmm. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm gonna give you this now. You could ask around or not, but it is dangerous. And if you actually come back to me with some information, I'll give you another 10.
He says,
But I don't blame you for running off because they just apprehended our friends in there for asking about this.
"Oh, wait, the two guys that the guard took to the side to one of the side doors were your friends? Damn.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, so
Look. If I take your
that's why I'm
money,
paying you what I'm paying you.
if I take your money, I will ask. All right. But it will take some time, probably a few hours. So let's say that you meet me here in 3 hours from now, and he says, you know, during the like this and this bell. So essentially, late afternoon. You know that. All right.
I pat him on the shoulder.
And with that, you know, he pockets the money. Once again, winks at you and Marla. And when he winks at Marla, he also does that. You know, the whistle. And just runs into the crowd. Marla looks at you, Gustav. Do you think that Johannes and Kree, they will let them go? Like, they didn't do anything wrong. I mean, Kree wasn't starting anything there.
No, but this is what I was afraid of. That even asking about this family at a government office would arouse suspicion. The family was accused of what they're accused of.
Well, so what? Do you want to tell me that this young Kislevite fellow, that this family wasn't invented? Like they weren't, that they were actual people who were accused of something evil?
Whether or not they're the ones that he was corresponding with, I don't know.
Gustav, this is dangerous thing, and you see that she looks a bit scared. I mean, if they were followers of Ruin, people are even, especially now, they are even more merciless towards this kind of monsters than they were before the invasion. You know that.
Right.
We are.
Does that keep? Oh, he's back. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
it's
are.
working now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was-
we can hear you.
We are treading on very dangerous territory, she says. I hope you know what you are doing.
I don't, but I know when to jump ship though. Like last time.
I mean, it would be nice to actually earn some good money finally. I I would like to move from where I'm staying right now, you know. I was actually thinking lately that we could all rent maybe some kind of small house or a boat like a lot of people live on boats in Aldorf, you know. I mean, why not us?
Yeah. And same with back home. I've always
Yeah.
wanted to do that.
Yeah, like we could, you know, maybe even buy it. Not now, obviously, but if this Kislevite will pay us good money,
I get an old jalopy and fix it up.
yeah. Anyway, as you are speaking, you suddenly see that from the entrance exits Johannes and Cripio. Cripio, by the
I
way,
saw that this wasn't the place to find the answers we were looking for.
sorry, before we go to this point, Cripio, when you were sitting in the office of Ralph Hebert, you were overcome by sudden fear. You don't know why. Because you remember that the surname Hebert was in the ledger. It was the name of a man who was the owner of the estate. Like before the
For the
before the Stallers and before even the guy who was before the Stallers. Like you remember, Wilhelm Hebert. And you were speaking to Ref Hebert.
I wonder if there's a connection there.
Sorry, Raf Hebert. And as the guard escorted you to the main entrance, and you know he gruffly says, "Have a nice day," and just turn around and walked away. You exit the building, and you see that standing outside, almost right outside, is Gustav and Marla.
Oh, look, the cavalry's here to help finally.
I see they didn't burn you at the stakes.
Not yet.
Yeah, not a man as pious and Reichlandy as me.
What happened?
This guy's an asshole.
Yep.
What guys? Asks Marla. What are you talking about? The guard?
No, the official back there, some guy named Hebert. He's a real prick.
Kriya, are you saying anything?
Yeah, out of character, he's
Yeah.
the only one that can make the connection here.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're the only one. That's why I'm asking.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's descendants of the people who own the Stiller's old property. You know, like that warehouse that burned down.
Wait, the guy you just talked to is?
Well, his family line anyway. Unless it's just a coincidence and he has the same last name. Excuse me.
That's interesting.
Yeah, sounds.
So wait, asks Marla. So what this Hebert? What was he asking about? Like, the guard took you to his office, and what was he threatening you? I don't know. Asking about what you were doing.
I don't remember. I locked up out of fear.
She looks at you,
Yeah,
Johannes.
yeah. He pretty much he pretty much told us that we would get in trouble and to drop it.
Wow.
And saying that they were heretics and they were burned at the stake. And
So wait, they are dead?
that's what he said. I'm not sure if that's really true though, but that's what he said. There's something definitely fishy going on here.
Kree, you also remember that you have the note with the two addresses, and that the address of the estate was conveniently covered with an ink stain.
Yeah, it was all inky.
What was inky?
But I got these other two. And I pull out the addresses of the other two
Yeah.
properties that I got.
And he also seemed like he was bullshitting when he said he didn't know where the property was, and since you recalled that his family at one time owned that property, I think it's fair to say that he does know where it is.
Did out of character? Did Creepio get that address?
Kupio, you have the address of the warehouse, you have the address of the townhouse, you don't have the address
Yeah.
of the estate, but you know that the estate is somewhere, and you know this too, Johannes, because Raf told you that the estate is somewhere to the southeast from Outdorf, but you don't have the exact location.
But you know where the townhouse is.
Right, yeah, we should go to the townhouse. Although
Like
we have-
I wasn't sure what else to do, but the kid who held our place in line, he's gonna ask around about these stallers and see if we can get a little bit of underworld information.
yeah, hopefully he doesn't get into any trouble for that, because
I explained to him what happened to you guys. Actually, I thought something far worse had happened to you guys. And I'm surprised to see you again this quick.
ah,
I thought we were gonna have to figure out how to break you out or something.
Well, you see that they are unharmed essentially. Nothing bad happened to them. They have no signs of, they don't have any bruises, any wounds, nothing like that. Although the guard did manhandle both of you rather, unpleasantly, so to speak. But both of you are fine.
Looking through windows at us.
What? Sorry?
Is anybody looking through the windows at us?
Roll perception if you want to look.
Okay.
Minus 10%.
Okay. I think we'll do it. I think.
Yeah.
Let me see if
You are quickly scanning the windows of the building, and of course, the building is large. It is multi-storied, so you quickly take a look at a few windows, both downstairs on your level and on the upper floors. They are all covered by iron grates. The whole buildings, of course, like most official buildings in the Empire, government buildings. It is also made to look intimidating and to even potentially, be defensible during a siege, for example, during war. But you think that on the first floor, you saw for a split second before they disappeared, you saw two faces looking at you, at your group, from the first floor. But when they saw that you saw them, they disappeared.
I'm gonna start casually walking away.
Mm-hmm. Wait, Sean disappeared completely also. Even from Discord.
I think Discord's having a problem. Because when I don't know if you guys saw, but I was getting a no route when I was trying to connect to voice.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a Discord issue.
hello.
Oh yeah, you're back, Sean. Everything okay?
Yeah, no, everything's fine. I hit a wrong button.
Oh.
I was like, I have too many windows open. I was like, whoops,
But-
that was not the window to close.
Just so you know, for now, only Gustav is on roll 20. Neither you, Sean, nor you, Keith, are logged in.
Yeah, I'm
So,
getting back there right now.
Anyway, Gustav, you are marching away. Marla is like, Gustav, where are you going? Come on, man. What's happening? And she's following you. Johannes,
I just want to get around the corner.
Johannes,
I know we're being watched.
Creepio, are you following them?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Mm-hmm. You follow them as well. Essentially, you follow Gustav, who is followed by Marla, who is followed by you. You are moving away from from this building, and you're passing the aforementioned park, which is off limits to public, even though it is officially public place. And you are once you turn a corner of a nearby building, Gustav, you know that from this point it's impossible for anyone from that window to be able to see you.
Okay. Yeah, we were being watched.
Oh, for fuck's, Marla says. I had a feeling that this job will be extra shitty.
I need to be creative with how we meet up with that kid again. We're
Well,
supposed to meet him right on those steps.
yeah, in 3 hours. But look, if we just made an enemy, of one of the officials of the city. She says it's even worse than that whole deal with the corrupted watch from last week.
Yeah. Well, I certainly think he knows. You know, I wasn't trying to threaten him per se, but I do think that there's something fishy about what he knows about um, heresy.
When he says heresy, by the way, both you, Gustav, and you, Kree, you have this
Ooh.
uneasy feeling. Not because he said something blasphemous, it's because he said something very dangerous in the Empire. Remember, you don't use this word lightly, and you don't accuse people of heresy lightly, because you can end as heretic yourself.
Yeah.
And you are living in times where paranoia runs rampant after the war. You know, the cults are still people saying that in some places of the empire the cults are practically acting openly in the destroyed provinces. And of course there are, you know, rumors of witch hunters unrooting cult cells every day in major cities like Altdorf, Naun, Averheim, you know, Talaheim. It is very dangerous times, and neighbors are spying on neighbors, and, you know, snitching on neighbors. Even talks of you know, families ousting their own members because they thought that they are in league with the dark gods, or maybe not thought, maybe they even had, you know, proof. Just building this atmosphere of paranoia. Sorry. So yeah, when Johannes said that, all of you, and you see that Marla as well, you look at each other and you see the unease on your faces. What do you mean? Asks Marla.
Well, I think Kree confirmed, and I got this. I got the feeling too when he was telling us about things that he was not only holding back but actually lying to us about his knowledge about what's going on here. So we don't want to have him as an enemy per se, but he's definitely not our friend, and we need to watch out for this guy.
Gustav?
Anybody?
I'm typing.
So, I think we should continue. We should hurry up and look at these other two places that are in town here, and then consider what we can do. But I think ultimately we're going to have to find this country estate.
Let's see if we could put off even going to the townhouse here for as long as we can, because I feel like whoever was watching us just now is watching that as well.
Well, I'm taking the other route in that they maybe weren't watching it and now they will be. So if we go like right now, they won't catch us.
Wait, says Marla. Did the men said that they were burned?
Yes.
But there are no burnings in Altdorf. I mean, there are burnings outside of the city, yes. But inside the city, I don't remember last time when there was a burning at the stake in Altdorf. People don't like that, even during the times of war. We can go to the we can go to the religious court and ask about it.
To the Temple of Mor?
No, to the religious court of the Temple of Sigmar.
Oh. We need to be extra careful there.
Yes,
how we phrase things.
But we can just ask about, as proper citizens, about burning of heathens on the stake, right? I mean, we're not going to drop names. We're not going to talk about stallers. We're just going to ask about when was the last burning in the city.
That's actually probably the safest next step.
Because burnings are usually a big deal. A lot of people are, gathering outside of the city. Inside, you don't really do that because of the smoke and she looks disgusted. Burning flesh and hair, right?
Yeah.
The smells. I mean, this sticks. So you do this outside of the city. But I haven't heard about this kind of entertainment, and she does the quote unquote gesture with her fingers for some time now. My guess is that the Templars are still killing the heretics, but they are probably just doing this in a more traditional manner, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think let's go to the court and find out this information about when the last when the last burnings have been, or how many burnings have there been recently, and where were they burned.
And besides, if the Stallers were convicted, they should be locked in a prison, right? One of the prisons.
So get records of their
Or arrest.
arrest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were merchants, right? So
Mhm.
they would certainly have some kind of records. They weren't like your usual street scum, and she points at herself mockingly. They would be entered into the ledgers. My guess is that they should be.
Was there anyone else in the room with you guys?
You
No.
didn't saw anyone. No, you didn't saw anyone.
There were
Actually, you were
two
short.
faces looking out of the window.
Yeah.
I'm gonna describe where the window was, so we could try and figure out that.
No, it
maybe
wasn't
that was there, right?
on your level. You guys were on the ground level, and Gustav describes faces looking at you from the first floor.
Okay.
The fact is, the problem is, Gustav, that you didn't even register if the faces were male or female. You just saw two faces, and they very quickly disappeared after they saw that you spotted them.
Could just be coincidence. That's nothing to go off of.
You're sure that they were looking at you very intently. You just know that. I mean, you had a very good roll, so I'm just telling you this now.
Yeah, I want to tell everyone my gut feeling on that, but I realize there's not much to go off of. But it was weird. There was two people looking at me.
Yeah.
Two people missing. It's a fortified building. It's not the room you were in. I tapped the cornerstone of the building. And I said, I think they might be in here.
Well, you are behind the corner of a different building, because I presume that you wanted to get some distance. So, yeah.
I don't exactly want to go breaking in anywhere on a hunch.
Well, we can always.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I don't think I want to go breaking into a building like this. Period.
Well, we can always investigate this Hebert fellow, says Marla. Maybe your Tylian friend could help. She says. I mean, Tylian knowing friend, Karsten Leibniz.
Right.
Yeah. It's a thought. He owes us.
Or the other halfling, not our halfling, but the Dankmar?
Lightfoot.
Dankmar Lightfoot?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although it will probably cost us.
Everything seems to cost us today.
Yep.
No joke.
How much did you have to pay? Creepio asks Marla.
Don't worry about it.
All I'm saying is, I wanted to refurbish you in some way.
Get away from me, harlot.
No,
I tried.
we all win some and lose some. And if anybody feels like they've lost too much, we'll make them whole.
I think we're okay. Let's get out of here and go and go to the religious court.
So you want to make
Agreed.
your way to the across the bridge to the temple of Sigmar, because you
Okay.
know that the religious cult will be held there in one of the side buildings of the grand temple. Well, actually, of the what's the word? Not district but complex of the temple
Yeah.
complex.
Mhm.
So we're moving away from this section of the city, from the university district. You
I need to be back in 3 hours.
you know that you won't make it. I mean, you would have to spend probably like 5 minutes in the courts if you want to make it back and be there in time in 3 hours. Like
Should
like
is
this is a large city, and
yeah.
I'm not rolling for that, even though I should. But you guys, of course, know that Aldorf has this one peculiar trait. The streets change because there are colleges of magic here, and because of that, people, especially new people to the city, can get lost because streets change overnight. People forget where they are going. They find themselves in a completely different places, and I'm not using this, to for you to ask you to roll constantly, because I think that would be probably a bit too much. Instead, I just want to tell you that it almost always makes your trips much longer than they would be normally. Because even if you know where you are going, sometimes you find yourselves lost or in a completely different place. And you have to ask for directions, you have to backtrack, you have to, find different route. You've been in this city for some time now, all of you, so you are getting the hang of it. Slightly. But you know that it will take many more days, maybe even weeks, before this strange, like, aura won't have as powerful an effect on you. Because native Outdorfers, they don't have any problems with that. But people who come to Outdorf, yeah, that's a completely different story. So that's why Gustav, that it would take you probably at least 3 hours to go there and back.
So I'm sure the kid wants the other half of what I offered him, though. So he'll hopefully wait.
All right. So my guess is that you are going to a temple. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, trekking through the streets and alleys of Aldorf, you are passing various sights, smells, and and other things that are just norm in such a huge city like this. Patrols of guards, arresting normal-looking people whom they just decided look shady. Lovers' quarrels on the corner of the streets. Although when you've walked past them, they weren't lovers per se. It was just a prostitute who was actually arguing with her client because he didn't pay her extra for something that she apparently did to him, and it costed extra.
Rim jobs are extra.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. If you want me to dress like Karl Franz,
Oh Jesus!
you have to pay 5 gold crowns extra. Although I'm pretty sure that this is illegal in the Empire. There were, of course, you have a few brawls, a few bar brawls that you saw along the way, including bar stools flying through the windows. Other than that, Aldorf is just this is this cauldron of diversity and just people, and not only people from all walks of life and from different parts of the old world and beyond, all congregate here, and it's incredible. And I would like for all of you to roll perception.
Okay.
Okay, 0 success, 0 success. And Cree.
I'll use a luck if.
Ooh, I think that's a botch. You want to reroll that, Keith?
Yeah.
Was there a modifier to this?
Nope.
Okay, I failed.
Mm-hmm.
I used the luck too.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so you all failed, but there were no botches, fortunately. Gustav, how much perception do you have?
38.
38, so you failed by 11. Let me quickly check one thing. In my PDF. Oh yeah. Alright, Gustav, you are sure that someone is following you?
I'm gonna
You don't see them
not look
because
at
you failed the test, but you are sure.
You guys are being followed.
Well, shit.
We know where we're going, right?
I
I feel like this whole thing is just, a waste of our time.
You're, by the way, on a crowded street. You are almost at the bridge. You are almost here.
So there's
there
no
are
splitting
hundreds
up
of
at the
people
bridge.
around you.
I was gonna say, I think we should split up. They can't follow us all. Meet back at the the wand tonight.
I'm gonna duck and take my hat off
Mm-hmm.
when I stand back up.
Mm-hmm. So are you splitting, all of you?
Well, if we're coming onto a bridge, I don't think we actually can split up. We all have
Well,
to
no,
cross the bridge. Right?
I mean, you can always split and go along the docks, left, right, and then maybe go to this bridge here. Although it will take, it will at least take extra hour to reach the Temple of Sigmar if you do this. Or you can just disperse and go back. Yeah, but because it will be impossible for you to lose anyone on the bridge, even as crowded as it is. No, not during the day.
Oh, okay. You guys go back and try and establish contact with the kid in 3 hours. Me and Marla will go to the temple because they are looking for you. We're not sure if they're looking for us yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, then, so we're down near the bridge. So let's go to the docks and look at the warehouse real quick, and then
Okay.
we'll go back to the thing and meet the kid. Although we don't know what the kid looks like, do we?
Yeah, he should just be standing around the steps.
Okay.
Careful approaching him. Like, don't compromise him. He's just a kid.
Yeah.
Just remember, somebody's probably looking out the window of that building. So be careful how you do it.
Yeah. Okay, so you quickly disperse. In that case, Gustav and you and Marla, you go, you cross the bridge. Let me quickly roll one thing. 1%. You even managed to avoid paying any kind of fee because there are so many people on the bridge that there are just not enough guards and tollkeepers to freeze them all. So lots of people avoid paying any sorts of taxes, and you just you're just crossing the bridge. Johannes and Cree, are you trying to bail together towards the burnt warehouse or no?
I don't know. I'm not the brains here.
Right. Well, I said you can come with me to the warehouse, or you can go back to the court building or the records building and wait for the kid there.
After what happened to me there last time, no, thank you.
All right.
Are we
Well,
still together?
No.
nope.
All right. So I presume in that case
Don't
that
get jumped.
that you are just hanging together, Johannes and Kree. You
Yep.
are walking towards the section of the brand warehouse, just like most of the docks in Naudorf. Like as I said before, along all of the river in Naudorf, there are like warehouses, stuff like that. What's the word? Wharfs, yes. The the wooden like structures to which you tie boats. I don't remember what's the word for this. Like piers,
Yeah.
piers. Okay, yeah,
Piers.
piers. But the main section of the docks is located in the. Actually, this is a district per se, known as Docklands. And Docklands are located on the northern bank of the Reich River. Their downstream boundary is the Free-Tow Bridge, and their upstream boundary is the confluence of the Reich and Taubeck. The district is something of a ghetto, inhabited mainly by the city's dockers. Rival gangs, most notably the Hooks and Fish, are constantly fighting for control over the district, and the local watch division is notoriously corrupt. The gangs do not tolerate unaligned criminals in the docks, so petty crime is actually fairly low. Interesting part, Docklands is where you are staying, because Street of 100 Taverns is located right next to the Docklands. Actually, it is in the Docklands, so to speak. So as Johannes, as you and Creepio, you are marching along the piers, along the docks. You see, of course, not only the numerous boats, ships, rafts, barges, just docked to this side of the riverbank. But of course, you also see people who work here, dockers, tough men and women, in working overalls. Most of them actually tattooed. Many of them sporting various scars and bruises. Some of them, as you when you take a peek towards them, as for example, they're talking in a group. You see that some don't have like teeth, or others have gold teeth inserted. You also don't have any problems with noticing the various gangs, or other gang members. They are mainly sticking together in small groups of 3 to 5, but larger groups of like 10 plus are also present. They are not actually bothering anyone. Most of them are just looking closely at all of the people around them, at their territory, making sure that no one is doing any fishy business. Eventually, you arrive at the place of the warehouse. Actually, at the place where the warehouse existed. But you see that there's this place looks horrible. It's a blackened. The wharf is a blackened ruin with charcoal timbers jutting out of the icy waters where the pier once stood. And you see that it wasn't only one warehouse that got burned. At least half a dozen nearby buildings are also completely destroyed by fire, which is something very common in the docks when the fire starts. Actually, in the poorer districts of the city as well, the tightly grouped wooden buildings. When a fire starts during the summer, yeah, it's a recipe for disaster. There's only debris here. It's just a place a site of utter destruction. You don't see anyone nearby. What are you doing, both of you?
I'm going to sort of look, like walk through the burnt out areas and sort of pick through it and see if there's anything, any sort of clues to anything that I can find. Just looking around for anything that looks out of place.
Mm-hmm. Kree, what about you?
I'll help him.
You help. Okay. You start digging through the rubble, through the burnt timber, through the scorched wood. Very quickly, you realize that there's nothing here. You won't find
Okay.
anything of use. It's true what I don't remember who was. Kree, the woman was speaking to you. I believe that, or maybe it was to Johannes. I don't remember. Someone was saying that they managed to the warehouse burned down, but the goods were evacuated essentially.
Yeah, the
Sorry, what's the sound?
shopkeeper.
What's the sound in the background? Someone is like, okay, no, it's gone. Nice. Yeah, the shopkeeper. Yeah, you're right. But as you are peeking through the debris, you suddenly hear behind you, "A few coins for me, oh mother." You hear slightly drunken voice.
Hmm.
You turn around.
Yeah.
Both of you. Or Kree, are you just sifting through?
No, I don't turn around when I hear things.
Okay. No, I know that that both of you are probably just you take a look over your shoulders and you see. Sorry. You see a man. He's wait. Do I have his description? That's the interesting part. No, but yeah, sorry. Oh yeah. You see that the man is. It's hard to determine his age. Obviously, he's a local drunk and probably homeless as well. Although he's not looking too bad for someone, asking for money from complete strangers on the street. Oh, sorry, didn't want to startle you. Just a few coins for me, oh mother, please? He asked. Even from here, you can smell his breath. It's apocalyptic.
Say, here you go, Sigmar's blessings, and I hand him two silver.
He looks, at the silver. Is like, his eyes are just huge. I mean, he expected probably a single penny, and he's like, "Oh, sir, thank you. Oh, I don't know what to say. Me mom will be very grateful for you, for this
Yes.
to you. Thank you. I'm Ludo Janse, at your service." He says.
Pleased to meet you, Ludo.
Yeah.
You around here often?
Can you put that his name in the chat?
Yeah. I'm entering here. Yeah, I live nearby. Can I?
Were you here?
Can I help you
Yes,
with
bud.
anything? He asks. As you see that he is very eager to please. Essentially, after you gave him 2 silver, it's probably a fortune for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you notice anything funny going on the night that these warehouses burnt down?
You mean this warehouse where you are all standing now, eh? Well,
Yeah.
and he looks a bit sheepish. I slept through the fire, on account on having one nip too many. But and he looks around nervously, slightly a bit. But after the fire burned itself out, I mean, something very strange happened. He says.
Yeah.
Very strange. He looks, he looks a bit. He looks a bit unsure, but you also see that his fingering the 2 silver coins that you've given him, and he pockets them and looks at you and says, "Guess I can tell you after that the man that you've given me. But look, when everyone had gone home, yeah, after the fire started here and spread to the other buildings around, a black coach bearing the city's crest pulled up just over there," and he points like right next to you, basically, like a dozen meters from you. I was just waking up and my vision is never too good first thing after a nap, but I could tell that the horses pulling the carriage were very jittery, probably because of the fire what happened. The strange thing, he says, is what got out of the coach. A tall man dressed in black, face white as a sheet in the moonlight. He had a chain in his hand, and on the end of that chain he was dragging some horrible evil thing. Huge it was, almost like a man, but not, if you see what I mean. Anyways,
Yeah.
the bloke walked over the wreckage, dragging this monster behind him. By now my eyes had cleared up so I could get a good look at what was going on. The monster had a black sack on its head, so I couldn't see its ugly mash, but the man was scaring me even more. He had this terrible grin on his face, and then he started laughing like a madman, so I legged it, smartish like.
Very wise.
Yeah, you see that the man, by the way, that Ludo is very scared as he's telling you this. Both of you roll Common Knowledge Empire. Basic test.
Boop, boop. God
Okay.
damn it.
You can always reroll because we are almost at the end of today's session. by the way.
Okay, yeah, I'll use the luck to reroll that.
Okay.
Watch me fucking.
No.
Same shit.
Kree, you want to reroll?
No.
Okay. So that's what I saw. It was It was right after the fire, essentially. The whole thing was still smoldering. There were still burning embers. I'll never remember that horrible tall man with his evil laugh and his deathly pale face. Gives me the creeps.
Yeah, sounds terrible.
No kidding.
Were you here? I heard that they got all the stock out of this one, though. Did you see anything about that?
Nah, not really. To be completely honest, but yeah, I mean the it didn't burn inside, and I mean you can ask the guys in the docks about it. Maybe they will have something more to tell you. The dockers. Just
Yeah.
be careful. Guys and gals here, they're not of the meek kind, so to speak. Be careful be careful of the questions you're asking, or you might end up with broken nose or worse. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, joke's on them. Kree doesn't have a nose.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
anyway,
But yes.
yeah, you can ask them. Other than that, I have no idea, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot. That's a good piece of information you gave us.
Well,
Very helpful.
thank you for the money. Just be careful, eh?
Buy your mom a drink on me.
She'll be more than delighted. Take care.
You too.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and with that, he quickly trails away from you. So yeah, you look at each other, and I would like for the one last row of today's session, both of you perception tests, please.
Perception. Damn it.
Oh
Oh no, that was.
Okay.
That wasn't. That was. Wait, what's that mean?
Yeah,
I failed
that was
anyway.
you. You have luck still or not?
Yeah, I have one left. I'll roll it again.
Okay.
Although I thought I rolled the 100 because you rolled it right after me. which I
No,
did not.
no, no.
Perception.
Pretty
All right,
roll.
I'll
Mhm.
use my last luck. Come on, Sigmar.
Nice.
There we go.
Now, I wrote as a GM, so you didn't saw that, but I did roll a botch. So,
Mhm.
from behind a nearby warehouse, well, actually from behind the ruins of a nearby warehouse, because not only this building but a few adjacent buildings are almost practically, they've been all turned into burnout rubble. Johannes, you suddenly heard probably few people trying to sneak up on both of you, and then you hear suddenly as a person, probably a large one, trips, falls, and like, oh shitting fuck, ugh! and there's the other voice, quiet, they'll hear us. Ah, fuck, I've slipped, god damn it, I'm hungry, I can't sneak when I'm hungry. Be quiet, you fool, they will hear us, they will know that we are tailing them. Ah, god damn it, sorry, Sigmar, damn it. And you hear this thick, like heavy voice cursing, and this nasally thin voice trying to make him to shut up, but they are all saying these things very loudly from behind a nearby pile of rubble, so you know that there are two men there. And that's where we end today. Yeah. Okay.
Time to kill.
Okay.
Alright.
Just so you know, it's like 10-12 meters from you, from the
Okay.
direction, in the direction from which you came. So you guess that someone was probably tailing you.
Yeah. No, I figured.
Yeah. Anyway, everyone gets 80 points for today's game.
Okay.
Remember about counting your cash. Make sure that it's organized. Yeah, and so let's try and organize our next game. So, would it be 22nd or 23rd? Actually, I wanted to ask if it would be okay. I can't really do 23rd. I mean, I would prefer not to. If it's okay on 22nd, it's Saturday, or if you want next week, 29th and 30th.
Oops.
Mhm.
I could probably I could do either the 22nd or the 30th. I'm fine either way.
30th? Okay. What about you, Brian? Brian?
Uh-oh.
You're muted?
Uh-oh. Yeah, it looks like he's got his mute on.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
I'll get my calendar out.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
You said the 22nd or
22nd or 30th. Or
Do you mean the
20
23rd?
Or, I mean 22nd, 29th, or 30th.
So Saturday the 22nd?
Mm-hmm.
I think I could do it.
Okay. Cree, what about you?
I can't really do Saturdays.
You can. Okay.
So 30th?
So the 30th? Yeah, I can do the 30th.
So 30th
Yeah.
would be fine. Yeah, 30th
Yeah.
would be fine. Okay. So let's meet on the 30th. You're right with that, Keith?
Keith, hello?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So we meet on the 30th next time. Yeah, 80 points for everyone. And yeah, thanks for the game,
I
guys.
uploaded the notes.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll create another document for the next session immediately. So yeah, that's that's that for today. Thank you very much.
Okay, cool.
Take care, guys. Bye bye.
All right,
Good game.
you too.
See ya.
Yeah,
Thanks, fellas.
very cool game. Bye.